and welcome back to the We'll Take It From Here podcast. Another week, another episode. However, first, we are going to bring you our show's sponsor, because this episode is brought to you by Honest Supplements. Now, Joe, what's Honest Supplements? Well, let me tell you. In a world that is plagued by new illness outbreak every other day, it's important to keep your body performing at its best with the right vitamins and supplements. However, these products can get expensive, especially with rising prices all around us. Honest Supplements has resolved that problem. They mark up all products by just $1, saving their members an average of 50% per product. Yes, that means that the protein you're paying $60 for is only $30 on their website. They have everything from vitamins, sports supplements, recovery, weight loss, CBD, and so much more. Timmy and I are both members and can advocate for the amount of money that you will save. And do we also mention that all products are third-party lab tested? Because that's the only true way to prove vitamins and supplements actually contain the ingredients that they claim. Don't wait. Go to Honest Supplements right now to join today and start taking better care of your health. And it's right. If you train jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, or just in the gym, you better be taking Honest Supplements. So go to their website, guys. All right. Now it's time for the show. What's going on, guys? Back. We'll take it from here. 215. Joe, Timmy. I almost went Joe and Timmy. Joe and Timmy. And we got Scott. If you don't know who Scott is, you probably don't train at Pure MMA. Or if you do train at Pure MMA and don't train at Noon, you probably don't know who Scott is. If you didn't listen to episode 102, so 102, back in 2023, which when Scott was first on, you probably don't know who he is. So now you're going to learn who Scott is. Welcome back to the show, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
2023 was the last time you were on?
Yeah. When you weren't on.
No, I'm just thinking. So that was episode 103. You said
102.
Damn, man, you've been doing this for a while.
A while, man.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. It's just been. It's over 4 years old now, so it's good.
I've only been doing this for just over a year.
Yeah,
year and a half.
Year and a half.
It's just weird to think about.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
it is weird to think about too, because you think 52 years in a week, 52 weeks in a year, right? But some of those episodes I doubled up. Mm-hmm. So it's really not like mathematically on it. So I just go by like when the show started. Actually, fun fact, when I first started the show with Don, I didn't know, that was the third time I'd ever met Don, was our first show. So I didn't know when his birthday was. It happened to be January 16th and it was January 26th. So I made like some stupid joke like happy birthday to the show. And he goes, how'd you know it was my birthday? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? So
that's funny.
Yeah. No, but welcome back, dude. It's been a bit. It's been a long time. We used to be talking all the time at BJJ when I went to Noon. And then once I started going to night class, we see each other here and there, but it's been a bit. So I know there's a lot of cool-ass changes and changes that may be cool, maybe not be cool. You started a podcast, a lot of stuff with life. So I'm happy to dig into that and see where you've been doing.
Sure. Yeah. No, thank you for having me back. It's incredible how fast time goes, right? Yeah. I was like, oh, we just did a podcast a couple weeks ago, and you look back and it's like 2.5 years or
legitimately 2.5 years. It was actually October or December of 2023.
It was around the holidays.
December. Yeah, it was.
It's almost exactly 2 years.
Yeah.
I feel like Halloween was last week. The summer was was the beginning of the week before that. You know,
hey guys, for reference, it's February 6th.
It's like right there
right on my computer screen. And you want to know what, guys? I got to do a better job of looking into the fucking camera and not the stupid TV. I'll be getting better at that.
Yeah, we need to look at the camera, not our faces.
Well, that's the thing too. Think about the last time we were talking about this offline. When you and I spoke, we were in a kitchen. There was no video. There was no nothing.
All audio.
Yeah, man. Fucking back in the olden days. So, dude, what's been going on with your life?
Yeah. I'll tell you a little about the podcast because
let's do that.
You sort of inspired me. I had this idea festering for years. And usually it's like when I'm doing something mindless, like blowing leaves or mowing the lawn, you have think time, right?
Yeah. I like that.
So I had this idea. I was going to call it Preserving Wisdom, which is actually what the podcast is called. And the theory was like I was going to talk to a bunch of old people and just talk to them about their lives and marriage and education and work and, just life, to see if I could pick up little nuggets from how they've lived. So I made this whole list of people. I was like, I'll talk to the pastor and this, and then people started dying. Like the neighbor, I was like, God damn, I got to get this thing going. And then I met with Joe. When I first met, I was listening to his podcast, and then I came on. He's like, you should just do it. Just start. I know you're not ready. I know you haven't thought it through. So you were a big part of me kicking me in the ass. Really, the thing that finally got me to do episode 1, it was a childhood friend of mine. Best bros. We had this little 3 or 4 group of people, and he was sick, and we were just shooting the shit one night, and I said, would you be up to doing a podcast, like just to tell your story? He had been sick over the years, cancer, and it was getting bad. And his name is Mike, and he basically said, bro, if you want to do that, we got to do it soon. And I was like, this is the sign. So I'd been talking to Joe. He's like, just do it. And then my buddy Mike's like, I'm willing to do it. So I scrambled. I was like, I got to get some mics. I got to figure some basic stuff to get this going. So I went down to see him. We had this just super genuine chat, and we grew up together, right? We're bros. And for me, it was an incredibly powerful experience. And ultimately, he wound up passing away about a year ago.
Sorry to hear.
Oh, it's tragic. Young dude, too, like 40s. I think he's in his 40s.
Jeez.
That's brutal.
That's young as fuck, dude.
Yep. And he's a tough. He was the biggest guy. He's like 6'4", 300-pound bouncer, jacked, and he was 170 pounds. When he passed.
Seen that too, man. That's a brutal transformation.
That is really a brutal transformation.
Devastating. And I left that conversation like, if I never do this again, and if it never goes out, it was worth it. It was like talking with a good lifetime friend. Almost like a goodbye. Like I did talk to him after the podcast a couple of times, but that was like my goodbye to Mike.
That's awesome. And not awesome of him having to deal with that, but awesome that you had this experience.
And think about it, it's recorded now, so you could always listen back to it.
I do, and his family and I are still close, and today is actually his mom's birthday.
So happy birthday!
Yeah, happy birthday, Mary Andrews. And his sister and brother and mom, we still text, I still send him like messed up stuff on Instagram that I knew he would laugh at if he was still here. So just want to let,
I love that.
The universe, like, we're still thinking about you. Usually it's like a messed up skateboard clip where somebody's like breaking their neck on a guardrail or something.
Oh, that actually is giving me chills. Like, you just send him the videos as if he's still here, because he's still here in spirit, right? So
he's, and I want them to know, like, he's still here with us. Mm-hmm. And it's painful still, right? I actually, one of the books I'm reading, I use, what do they call it? Prayer cards or something when you go to a funeral service. So it's, his card, and that's my bookmark. So every day, at night when I'm sitting there, like, I have to like see his face. So, anyway, so for me, it was like a powerful experience. It's why I wanted to do this thing, right? I was like, this is it. I'm meant to do this. And then his family, it's meant a lot to his family afterwards. And now that he's no longer here, they're able to go back and they just have something recorded. So that was the idea for the podcast. And then the follow-up was like, I would do an episode with a friend, and then I would do a follow-up episode by myself. Like, hey, here's what I learned about my conversation with Mike. And the second one would be like 10 minutes or whatever, just like a reflections type thing. And I did it. So I think I probably recorded like 10 or 12 episodes. They're out there, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts, Preserving Wisdom. I did, unfortunately, a couple other people on my list have subsequently died as well, so I missed my opportunity. But for me, it's been a meaningful experience. The challenge, and here's why it's paused. I don't want to say I've stopped doing it, but it's paused. I got to get past the hurdle. So what I love is talking to people. Mm-hmm. That's like, I'm a recruiter by trade. Like, I'm a good talker. Mm-hmm. I'm good at connecting with people. And I love that. What I hate doing is technology crap. Like, it's all of the post-production stuff.
That's not the fun part. That's not the glamorous stuff. That's the weeds. That's going through boot camp.
Yeah.
Every episode, And we were talking a little bit off air of how we process this. And that's where my engineer brain comes in is, I I don't mind putting in the work in. We do jujitsu. You put in the work, but
yeah.
I don't want to put in the same work every time if I don't have to.
Sure.
So that's we were talking about the software and all the stuff we do. So it's getting that routine and rhythm down where it's kind of like it doesn't take a large mental load to get the project done. And that's a huge hurdle. Because when I first came on, it was kind of simple with the audio, and then we started getting the video back in, and then trying to figure that editing and all that. It was a learning curve.
It's a lot.
And I'm grateful that every co-host that I've had has always done the video aspect of it. I've always taken care of the audio, and now I'm doing like the clips, but that's not the video. So the video for me, like you have the engineer brain to see it. For me, it's just like I don't. Not that I don't know if you need a specific computer, but you have a better computer than me. You know what you're doing. I'm grateful that you take care of that part. But yes, the goal is to get to a point where we're not doing that and we can bring someone on to, do it for us. Yeah. That would be definitely the goal. So did you hear that? If you want to do this,
internship available.
And we're going to manifest not making money off this. So we'll be able to pay you when we make money. So.
Yeah, get in early.
Yeah.
I think that's what it would take for me to start doing this again. Like, let's just as an example, let's say I could rent this space from you, right? I throw a new banner in the background, which I think is doable, whether it's physical or digital. We can do that easy.
Just need a new mascot too.
Yeah, a new mascot. We could do that.
The lights change color too.
And then maybe even just pay somebody to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like book the conversations, come have the chats, and then have somebody else do the social media stuff and do the editing. I was also traveling because I did meet with a bunch of old dudes. So rather than have them like come to my house and everything, so I'd have to bring the equipment, and the setup was always different. So the sound was always different. And then you come away with these trying to get the quality of the sound. And like, I know for me, if a podcast has a shitty sound, I'm out. Like, even if it's interesting content, I have a tough time hanging in there. So yeah, that's sort of where it went. But I had a couple cool ones. The last one I did was this guy, Tom Coleman, who was a psychiatrist for many years, worked in mental institutions. He also ran like 250 marathons, and
holy cow,
he's still doing it. He's in his 80s.
God bless, that's awesome.
He was 250 marathons in total.
Yeah,
and he's in his 80s.
Yep,
that's fucking insane.
When I met him, it was the week he just finished a New York City marathon. He was the last guy to finish.
Oh wow!
So they interviewed him as like the last person. But again,
how old was he when he finished?
In his 80s, 80, 81, 82.
Shit,
yeah,
good for him. Yeah, it's all in the mind, man. It's all in the mind. It's all in the
81 doing
mind.
The New York Marathon.
It's all in the mind, dude.
That's amazing.
Awesome. And I'm too lazy to run that half marathon.
Half marathon's a lot.
And you're right, though, Joe. It's you against you.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
The outside stuff is not the competition. It's all in the mind.
It's like what you do with anything in life, right? Whether it's I don't know, whatever you're doing, right? To build something that you want. You just gotta the minute that the brain kicks in and says, "I don't want to do this right now," do it. When I go home, or like tomorrow when I'm laying down and I just got up and it's like, I'll just edit it later. Edit right now, send it to Timmy. Yeah. Just get it out of the way now, and then that's how you beat it. So that's for at least for the podcast, I could speak to that. When you're doing all that editing, don't worry about it being like fucking top notch. I'm not telling you to make a shitty product. Just don't worry that it's not, you don't have the right cameras yet. Just do it. Get the momentum is what I'm trying to say. Build that snowball. So when
it's like when people don't start jiu-jitsu because they want to get in shape. It's like,
that's right.
No. Just go to jiu-jitsu. Yeah. You'll get in shape doing jiu-jitsu.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
Same shit. Process.
But you're talking about always having a different location. That's why we were pushing so hard to get our studio, our shed, or because we were bouncing between his apartment and my garage, and then like the audio is different. Take away that just moving the equipment every time.
Oh yeah,
dude, that was so fucking shitty.
It's just a lot. So now we come out here and we're set up ready to go in 5 minutes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, the camera. We don't have to worry if the cameras are in focus or like everyone's in the frame or not. Like now we can focus. It's the mental load, right? We don't have to focus on getting the camera set. We can come in, okay, cool. Everything's set up. We got all the files ready.
Record.
Boom. Okay, cool. How's this going to look? Wait, what if we get a new camera? Where would we put that and all that stuff?
Yeah.
So now we can make that, go to the next step instead of keep stuck in that initial step.
I forget what you're referring to is there's a Japanese phrase for it. It's just that the way to make the biggest impact is to take the smallest steps. I gotta get this. Yes. Thank you. I think that's the word. Yes.
That's like the continual improvement, like iterative improvement. Yeah. That's where, if you've ever heard of like Six Sigma, like
I'm an engineer. Yep.
Like Toyota was like one of the early engineers in that way.
Toyota in Japan have basically spearheaded all that kind of stuff. Lean manufacturing is the overall generic term.
Yep.
Yes, Kaizen. I'm nerding out. I know.
I am way off with my spelling of the Kaizen because I got into quantum. Well, actually, I may not be way off, but yes, it's the idea that you just do incremental steps, and then that'll make essentially all the
My
shit. My
favorite expression is, how do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time.
Yeah,
one bite at a time.
right.
Yeah.
So where are you at now with the podcast?
It's just a thought. Yeah. It's, I haven't done one in a while.
It's on the back burner. It's not a thought. It's there.
It's there.
Yeah, but you want to know
ruminating.
what? You want to know what though? It starts with the thought. Everything starts with a thought. So you just got to get yourself. One day you're gonna, if you truly want to do it again, you're gonna push yourself to do it, and it's not even gonna be like you're not going to calculate when you're gonna do it. It's just gonna be one day being like, fuck it, let me just do a podcast.
Time. Well, the thing I dread is I lose more people that are on my list.
Yeah.
I talked to my mother-in-law, which, again, I'm hoping there's like a living autobiography, right? So like, look, we're all going to die one day. But if I have like one final conversation with people that I know and I respect and I care about, that's kind of how I've viewed my podcast as like, hey, here's an archive of people's lives. And then, God willing, when the people pass, their families have something to look back on.
Just like your friend Mike.
I'll get there. Yep. I had an interesting one. I have my buddy Kyle. He's been at Pure a couple times. He lives in Uganda.
Oh, wow.
He's such an interesting dude. Next time he's in the States, if you guys are around, I'll see if you want to do it. He is a wild boy. He is a tech dude too, if you're into that.
Awesome. I'll nerd out.
So, oh my
Keep
God.
that off air there for everyone's peace.
Like, I don't even know if he finished school. He learned tech through playing video games. And like,
I love that.
He now runs all of Uganda's internet exchange.
Holy shit.
Dude, he works like with the government and builds it all through that part of Africa, travels all over the Middle East.
Wow.
He also trains Muay Thai, which is so when he comes home, I hooked him up with Metal Mike.
Yeah.
So he'll do some privates with Mike when he's in town.
That's awesome.
Wait a second.
You might have met him in
Does he have like, I don't know the term to describe his hair, but he's got like a full set of hair that sort of waves off to the side.
A pretty boy. Yeah, he's like a good looking.
I think I've seen this guy. Because I was wondering, I was like, I never saw this guy in that many classes, but he's always doing privates with Mike.
Yeah, I mean, he comes to the States probably once or twice a year, but super interesting. So Kyle and I had a great chat, and he's been all over the world, like on bicycles and bribing border agents and like really wild stories. So again, I love this thing. I love sitting down and hearing the stories. It's just the post-production stuff that I don't love.
Yeah.
So my next concept for a podcast, and Dr. Gus was like kind of going down this path a little last night, was I want to talk to people that don't necessarily agree. So you guys were talking a lot about politics and how it's like, you pick a team and you're kind of like in a thing. I think part of the problem in our society is we don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
And I think most of us, if you get down one-on-one with somebody, like we want the same stuff, right? Like you want to live a good life. If you have a family, you want to provide for your family. You want to take care of your parents. You want to, have some pets, have a good career, pay your bills. Most of us think that way, but the media wants you. Like if we're not fighting, those people in power don't have the power they want. So.
If we're not fighting, they're not making money.
Yeah. So I want to break it. I want people to start talking to each other. I have, ironically, like I've got a lot of people all over the map, left wingers and right wingers, and just to watch on social media sometimes is interesting. I'm like, I've never been that.
You look at your stories and you're like, this is the same conversation happening, but you're on the opposite side.
Yeah.
It's the same news story that you're reading, but you're getting different information.
You know what's funny too? When you look at our society, think about how pretentious, like if you go to a comment section on Instagram, everyone is such a dick to each other, would never use that tone of voice, so to speak, in a real life conversation. Have you ever had a text with someone where you're having like a debate about something, regardless of what it is? and you could start to feel it getting heated.
Oh, yeah.
But then you talk to that person in person, and the conversation's calm. That's why doing this is good.
Yeah.
Right? You get the actual emotion from the person, and no one's trying to be a dick to you in person. I don't know. That's just like the human. Unless you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Unless you're a fucking dick. I don't know.
And
people are.
that would be the concept. Like, not for me to change your mind at all, because I don't have a dog in the fight. Just to understand. Like, understand why you think the way you think.
See, that right there is your problem. No one wants to understand other people.
Yeah.
And if you can get down that wall, that's where the real progress is. It's like, and I see this all the time, especially with people arguing in politics, but it's the default of arguing. You are no longer caring what the other person is saying. You're trying to force your opinion on them.
Yeah.
That's arguing. What's the difference between arguing and conversation? That right there. If you're having a conversation, you're trying to understand that person, and then you want to present information to maybe persuade them. That's a conversation.
I like what you said last show. And by the way, guys, if you haven't seen it already, Dr. Gus's 5th episode about the PSYOPs, you should definitely watch that or listen to it. But I like what you said on last week's episode where you were like, I'm very strong on the Second Amendment. I'm wise enough to know I may not know everything, and I'm willing to hear your side. Granted, your side's probably not going to influence my opinion, but I'll listen to it. That was a perfect, like I'm paraphrasing, but that was a perfect way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the key is too is when you say listen, it's not just like, oh yeah, no, it's actually listening and trying to understand and look at from their perspective. If this is the problem I see too in political conversations is people can't put their opinion aside and try to put themselves in the mindset of the person that they're arguing with and why they're feeling that way. Right? Every time I listen to someone politically, I can understand why they get to that point. I may not agree, but I can understand. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
You know, like, and all these big things that happen, I can put myself, like any of the ICE shootings, multiple, but I can put myself in both shoes of people that are involved, and I can understand how they got to that point. Whether I agree or not doesn't matter, but you should be able to put yourself in other people's shoes and get and entertain, what position that person in mindset. Yeah. And that's the biggest struggle. I think that the podcast you're talking about, I think would be great for that. It's just getting people. How do you get people to put their guard down to get to that point?
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
It's not in a tweet. It's not in a text.
No.
It's long form conversations. Yeah, I think you're right, Tim. A lot of times when people are talking politics or whatever, they have their talking points, right? And they're not listening to you. They're waiting to tell you their next piece of evidence or their next article. They're not listening. I think, I don't know. I've always been an independent dude. Like, I've never been a team player. Like, I've never claimed a party politically. Yeah. I'm not like a right wing, left wing. I'm like a center. I'm like a heart and mind, right? I'm like the brain. You could have the wings. I'm like the guy that thinks. And I like to understand both sides of things.
You must have a side. What are you talking about?
I don't.
No.
And it's funny.
I'm saying that's society. You must have a side.
Another thing, like about sides sometimes, because my kids, I have 2 teenage girls, and they're very interested. And Jen and I have very interesting parenting style, like very freedom oriented, and they could ask anything. So we have a lot of really complicated talks. And they were asking about sides because we got the ballot last week. And Daddy, are you registered this or this? And I don't know if you guys know this, but in New Jersey, to vote in primaries, you have to vote for your party. So I have switched my voter registration like a dozen times in the last 10 years because if it doesn't matter, like for example, this last thing, there's only one Republican, so there's no vote there. Why would you waste your vote? Yeah. Switch to Democrat, like look at your options, and then you make that one.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting how like. I don't know. Just the divisiveness is we spoke about this last week, but we could speak about it again. I think what it comes down to is a lot of people feel that they're being attacked. So when you have a political discussion or just a debate in general, if you're able to just clear your mind, have your points, stick by your points, and know that regardless, at the end of the conversation, it doesn't matter. I shouldn't say it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. It doesn't matter if the other person agrees with you. It becomes an easier conversation, right? Because then you can listen, you can open up.
Well, like Tim said, you don't have to be married to your ideas, right? That's some people. That's part of who they are. They identify as a MAGA, or they identify as anti-ICE or everything. So when you challenge that, that's like challenging them. When the truth is, it's just you're questioning why they think that way. Like what brought you to that place? Why do you think like that? My kids were with all this ice stuff. My wife was in Minnesota a couple weeks ago. She travels for work a lot. So they were asking, like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand all of this. And they have their opinions. And I said, well, think about, this is a crazy example, but I said, let's say we're a family. Let's say our family is in El Salvador, right? And, daddy got jumped today, and then tomorrow daddy got murdered, right? And then when you go to school, like one of you got kidnapped and the mom got raped, like what would you do? Like you would do anything you could to protect your child. Like my husband's gone, my daughter got raped on the way to school, like I have to get the heck out of here. So like who wouldn't do what they're doing? Like they're desperate people trying to get away from horrible places. And for all of our problems, I still believe the United States is the best system in the world. I've got lots of friends that grew up in communist countries and all of that stuff. So I don't blame those immigrants for wanting to come here. So two things could be right at the same time. That's what you guys were saying with Gus a lot last night. It's like that could be true, and there should be a better process. So both of those things, they're not opposite sides of the coin.
And the whole thing is two things can be true. Is like people say what you're talking about, describing the scenario, why these people would come and be so motivated to come. That doesn't take away. Like you can say that and still be anti-open borders.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like they're not mutually exclusive. But people like, oh, you want to close borders? Well, you're not sympathetic. No, I am. I think it's fucking terrible that what their government is and what the country is and whatever they're trying to get away from. But and this is an analogy I like to use a lot is you're a lifeguard and you're trying to go save someone from drowning and you're in the ocean and you get caught in a rip current and you're drowning. Are you gonna go save them? You can't swim yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you gotta have the guardrails to keep you surviving before you can thrive enough to then save other people.
You know what the funny thing is too? This is good points, but just not that we have to go into it. You used El Salvador because El Salvador used to be. They actually cleaned it up.
Oh,
it
yeah.
used to be horrible, right? But they used to clean it up, and I can see your point. But like you said, like let's not have an open border, right? Because we need to take care of our own first. We need to take care of us first to be able to take care of anyone else.
Yeah. Well, it's not, the point was, if you had an open border, there's no way to keep the structure solid. Mm-hmm. You know, if you just had anyone coming and going whenever you want, you may end up having things just collapse because of it. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't mean you're not for immigration. You're not for foreigners. It doesn't mean you hate foreigners. Doesn't mean you hate immigrants. Like you said, two things can be true at the same time. You know, but it's people can't get past that initial like, oh, you disagree with me, so you hate these. I never said that. I put words in my mouth.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's the point too. Is like when if someone says that to you, you sort of just gotta laugh at them because you know deep down that you don't hate these people for the color of their skin or anything. So it's like don't let it anger you.
Yeah, and don't let the power put you in categories. These people, like the black vote, the gay vote, the immigrant vote, like be an individual. Like I find, again, it goes back to like, if you talk to most people one-on-one, I think we have way more in common than we present sometimes.
Well, hell yeah. Think about where we train fucking jiu-jitsu. You have everyone there. Everyone.
It's cops, the criminals, doctors, the teachers.
Right wing, left wing. Like you have everyone, dude. So it's like when we're all on the mats or we're bullshitting with stuff that's not these topics, like because you see it on Instagram because we follow each other. We know where everyone lies for the most part. But then when you go there, you're not like no one holds animosity toward anyone. We're all fucking boys. We're all
only if you're
brother, sister. Yeah.
A little shit talking. Yeah. Right. I'm not resisting, right? Yeah.
Every time I roll with the cop, I'll say that.
Yeah. I do like. You guys know Mark, the Border Patrol? He just retired. Border Patrol guy.
I've been trying to get his ass on the fucking show.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
We have like death matches. We're both like 50-year-old blue belts.
There you go.
You're both normally the same. He's a big dude. You're a big dude.
Yeah,
so
we're like 200-pound 50-year-olds. Yeah. He's like, come here, you border hopper. Trying to.
That's fucking
I'm not resisting.
Hilarious. Come here.
It's fun. These are jokes, people. Please
Yes.
It's just fun.
Oh, jokes, man. If you're pissed off, turn off the show. Anyway,
they turned off a long time.
Yeah.
They weren't listening.
They haven't tuned in.
Well, if they didn't like us, they turned off when we said be open-minded.
Yeah. Right. Once they heard he didn't have a side, they were off. They're like, I'm not listening to this anymore. No, that's funny as shit. I've been trying to get his ass on the show. I'm respectful to why he doesn't want to come on, just in case, any, not that he did anything bad.
We'll wait a year.
We'll wait, yeah.
When it is on to the next crisis.
yeah, exactly.
It was gay pride and trans.
No.
And then it was trans. Now it's immigration.
Yeah, what are we protesting now? Yeah. What about Venezuela? Forget about that.
That was only a week and a half.
Yeah.
And before that was Iran.
Iran, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a mini series.
Yeah. It almost is. It's almost like its own little TV series.
It's a game.
Yeah.
Little season.
All a game.
What season of life we're in? Next year it's going to be fucking white belts. Anyway.
So jiu-jitsu, since we last spoke, I was, I think it was a 3-stripe white belt
You
or
were?
something.
So congratulations.
Thank you. Had I competed? I forget. I did one. So anyway, I've done one competition. And it was
let me see.
One of those things that I had to say, like, I did it. Like, I didn't want to, stop doing this and say, what if so I did it. I signed up. And my daughter and I, who were training together, we did it. I think it was like 9 months in.
I think you did.
I think I might have just done it. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I went 2-2, and I never need to compete again. That was like a good thing for me to do, and it brought me a lot of clarity.
What's nice is too, you went 2-2. Like it wasn't like I lost my first match. This was stupid. Yeah. You went 2-2. That's good. You got 4 matches. Great because sometimes competing, you get 1, maybe 2 matches, which suck. So what made you decide you're good with that experience?
Well, I'm 51. Mm-hmm. I'll be 52 this summer. That's a part of it. I don't need to beat you to feel good about me. Like, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Even when we roll for fun, like, I will tap left and right. I don't care. Like, I don't do one of the guys I rolled with, I broke his rib during the tournament. I saw a clavicle break, a tibia break. I'm like, I can't. I got a real job. I got a family. I also, and I know this about myself, I don't have that alpha switch that you turn on that I think you need to compete. I think you need to be able to dial that up, and I just don't have it. I'm happy when other people, I love watching my partners. I love watching the people from the gym. We've gone to a bunch of fights. I love that. And I love these young kids competing. I'm so comfortable in the fact that I will never need to do that again.
What kind of impact have you seen jiu-jitsu on your kids?
Yeah, so my younger daughter Tanner had trained with us, and we trained together for like 2 years. By the way, she's not currently training, which I've got mixed feelings about. But Tanner's done 4 tournaments, so we did the one together, and then she did Naga a bunch of times. And actually, there's some cool Naga stories I could tell you. But it is 100% given her more confidence, and she's like. She's an old soul. Tanner is like, she's 13. She will break your balls like you can't even imagine. I was telling you on the last podcast, this guy had me in a Kimura, and she's like, Daddy, you can't break your arm because somebody's going to have to do the laundry. Like, she's just like such a ball buster.
That's so good.
It's really fun. But it has given her, I'll tell you the last Naga story. So Tanner did Naga last year, and I forget how big or old she was, but she, the night before, she had 2 people she was going to compete with. And the morning of, they didn't show. So they said, hey, Scott, you could bump her up an age bracket, or you could bump her up an experience bracket. So I gave her the choice. This is another parenting thing that we could talk about. So I love giving my kids choices. So I said, Tanner, A, do you want to do it? B, do you want to do it with somebody older or somebody more experienced? So she goes, I'll take the more experienced thing. So she had 2 matches. She lost. She didn't tap. She got thrashed, like judo throws and like really beat up. So I said, all right, you didn't quit. And that's the only thing. Just don't quit on yourself. It's okay if they beat you. They've got a year more experience than you. And then the emotional roller coaster, the girl that she was supposed to compete with showed up. So she showed up like 3 hours late. And they said, oh, you can compete with her, but now you have to do best of 3. So she ultimately had to do 5 matches. And I swear this girl, she had like a mustache. Like, I think she drove herself there, like makeup and everything. She looked like she was 25, but Tanner was like 11. And she goes out there, and she had lost 2. This girl beat her the first match, and she's crying. Daddy, I'm tired. I can't do this. I said, well, she's tired too. And again, same thing. Just don't quit on yourself. If she beats you, that's fine. She's got experience. Just keep trying. So they rolled around and she pulled off a win. I forget whether it's armbar or something. So then the last match, and now she's like bawling tears. I'm so tired. I can't do it. I said, She is tired too. If you're really tired, just go finish this quickly. You know how to finish this. Go get what you want to go get. So she ran out there, jumped on her and Ezekiel'd her in like 10 seconds. Like,
I'm tired.
yeah, tears strolling down.
Let me be done.
Yeah, exactly. So I
it.
said, end it now. So anyway, so she won gold in that. Like the brackets are weird. So she won gold there. She went 2-1 with her division. So that's the coolest thing.
That's
not
a huge
quitting
win.
on herself.
That was
a huge win.
Huge lesson for her.
Yeah.
Not quitting on herself. And it's okay to be scared and do something anyway. It's okay to be tired and do it anyway.
That's a great story.
Those are good jiu-jitsu things.
Yeah,
it is
for sure. And it's in a extremely controlled environment. Granted, you may pop a rib or break an arm or something, but like relatively speaking, it's very controlled. Like you play in football and in baseball, whatever. You may get a foul ball off the face or whatever. You get fucking wrecked. Yard sailed in lacrosse or football. Like this, yeah, you may get a rib, but the odds of something bad happening are very low. But like that scenario of I'm exhausted, and you have the ability to tell her, hey, like you can talk to her. In ball sports, team switch, you can't. It's the coaches only. Hey, she's tired too. You got this. Just go finish it. That like being able to do, and then she went out and executed, which is hard. Like she was 11. That's a lot to do, a lot of pressure. And then she executed, which is great. But still, just going out there and trying at that like most people quit before they're even actually fully tired.
That's right. Yeah.
So like being able to experience all that, from competing too, is like when you compete, it just fucking zaps your energy.
Oh yeah.
You do one match and the next one's like, I'm supposed to go back out there? And you can do 5 pro classes in a row, back to back to back, and you still won't be conditioned for a competition. Yeah. So like being able to do that and coming back from those losses and getting the win, that's huge lessons.
Yeah. And nobody can take that from her,
No.
right? Forever. Like even if she never trained again one day in her life, like she's got that experience, she's got that memory of grinding through it.
And you know what? If she didn't go through with it, I bet you there'd be a little voice in the back being like, I should have.
I wonder what happened if I did.
Yeah.
What if I?
What if?
Yeah. So back to injuries. So like since we spoke.
Yeah, bro, you've been fucking. Every time I saw you, you're sitting and like rightfully so, sitting out, healing up. What the hell happened with that, man?
I am. So jiu-jitsu is an amazing. It's so hard to explain to people that don't train what it's about.
Yeah.
And there's seasons for me. I'll speak for myself only, but I had to learn how to train. So I train much different than I did initially. But I went a little hard. I'm a 50-year-old man trying to roll with 20-year-old gorillas. So yeah, no, I've had a couple things. So shortly after we met, I tore my meniscus and did an MRI. Surgeon was like, "Oh, I'll see you next week. This is easy. We'll cut this and that." And I was like, "Slow your roll, buddy." Like I don't want surgery to be my first option. So I saw Troy. Yeah. So I went and I said, "Hey, would you just like do some stuff?" So he did like some mobility things, had me do some squats and positions. And all he goes, "Dude, you don't need surgery." So he gave me like 10.
Yeah, it's super easy to do the surgery because he's just going to go do an incision, sit there, do nothing, close you up, and take the money. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a little triggered.
We are.
That shit drives me nuts. Sorry.
We are dollar signs.
Yeah.
No, that's 100%. And I'm so glad that I didn't do that. So I met with him. We got this stuff. I did 4 weeks at home just doing these movement things, and I'm back to training. But
I'm happy you took the time to realize you didn't fucking need to get cut open. That would have been horrible because that would have delayed your fucking training.
Yeah.
You would have paid money for no fucking reason, and now you know where your body's limits are, right? You know how to rehab yourself if this ever to happen again, right?
Yep. I do wish there was a cheat code. Like I wish, and maybe there is. Maybe I could take steroids or testosterone. I'm just not going there yet.
Well, you're 50. You could probably get TRT, right?
I have my testosterone levels are where they need to be. I talked to my doctor about it, by the way. He said for a 50-year-old dude, like if you're already at a comfortable testosterone level, you don't want to add it because of the negative potential on your heart. So it's like, heal my joints. So anyway, the right answer is I should train a little bit less.
You should train a little bit more methodical and purposeful because you can go and train and you don't have to go to war every time.
That's
you can
right.
come and drill or you come and just like, hey man, I'm 50. Yeah, you said 51?
Yeah, 51.
Yeah, I'm 51. I need a flow roll. That's just,
but pick your partner.
Yeah, that's right. That's it.
But that's the thing is like I roll with Scott Cooper, man, I'm going to fucking war because he's bringing the heat. I roll with Mikey, it's the same thing. roll with Joe. I'm just kidding. Oh fuck yeah! Shout out to Joe who just got 2 stripes.
You need an easy roll.
But no, like I'll warm up with my wife. Not that she's an easy roll, but it's warm up rolls. We're going slow and like we're trying, but like it's not a fast pace. We're not trying to go. So it's like finding those partners. Like, hey man, like let's just have fun and not go too crazy, and like make it a chess game, not a sport game.
Yeah, it's not a fight. I like to play jujitsu.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's part of my point. So like this last year, I've been dialing back how I train, and I think it's allowed me to train more. Which again, I don't know if that's the right. Last week was 6 days in a row. I was like, what the hell am I doing? My neck, I can't look left. That sort of thing.
That's impressive though for a 50-year-old, 6 days in a row.
Too much.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
that's
smart.
impressive,
That's a lot of training.
It's
that is.
I'm happy with twice a week.
Yeah, dude, that's wild.
That's probably I should be doing like 2 or 3 days a week and then doing strength training.
Yeah.
And I do none, 0. Like, an occasional push up.
Is it just not the time, or
I hate it. It's boring.
Yeah, I feel that.
I need people.
I'm the same way.
I need people.
Yeah, sure.
It's funny is I agree with you, but I fucking hate people.
Do you?
Yeah. No, it's not that I hate. I'm the like if I go to a party, like I can have this conversation all day long, but we're at a big party with a bunch of people. I can't do it.
Let me tell you this. I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, but I'm going to emphasize how important strength training is for jiu-jitsu or martial arts in general. It keeps you healthy.
I know.
It strengthens the muscles.
Not just martial arts, but life.
Well, life, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look. You're going to do what you want, but even if it's just something like I don't know, isometrics. So like strength. I don't know what the word for isometric is. Like when you're
What's the word I'm looking for?
like
Just body weight stuff?
No,
calisthenics?
something like
military?
that. Yeah, all that shit. That shit'll help. That'll help. Billy's got me doing some crazy like leg workout, man. I'm like, what the? But it's good though. Yeah. It's good.
Single leg Romanian. Yeah,
yes,
I think that was one of my recovery ones.
Yeah,
actually,
they're really good.
So how I found jiu-jitsu was there's a Wharton story here. So
nice.
I trained CrossFit over at Infinite, which was where that 13th hour Halloween thing is.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that strip was Infinite Fitness. And do you know Omar Rivera?
Yeah.
So Omar was training there with his wife, and we'd be, doing CrossFit every morning and all this stuff. But we talk about jiu-jitsu and UFC and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, you should come by on." So he got his black belt from Mikey and Andy.
Yeah.
So
I know Omar from. So I started at Pure at the original location. Omar was there.
Oh yeah,
I think it was a purple belt when I started too.
Damn.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
I love that dude. So I still talk to him. He was actually in Jersey. Unfortunately, his old man passed recently, so he made a trip up. Yeah. But anyway, after like months of ribbing me, he's like, "Just get a gi, come by here," and I did. So he showed me some shrimping and bridging and stuff, and then I started jiu-jitsu. And then also in Wharton, did you know Tito? Green hair Tito.
Yeah.
So he had his CrossFit right across from right by Costco.
Phalanx.
Yep.
Phalanx Fitness,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
So I trained there a little bit, Tito. And so when I started jiu-jitsu, I was doing weight training like 3-4 days a week and then jiu-jitsu 2 times a week. And I felt way
So
stronger.
you know already that
I do.
Yeah. And then you get addicted to the jiu-jitsu because it's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
And then you realize how boring weightlifting is. And then you have to remind yourself, no, you need to do this. It's like taking your medicine.
That's it.
Yeah. I like to call it weightlifting. It's like you're putting on body armor.
Yeah.
You're getting yourself your shields and your armor.
Yes.
You're putting on. I like that.
So I know you are right, Joe. You're 100% right. That's why I should do it. And I know what I should do. It's just a matter of executing.
And like I'm well aware that I'm speaking to someone who is 20 years older than me, so the body's different. But I'm just saying it could help.
You whippersnappers.
Yeah, young whippersnappers.
It's just motivation.
Oh man, that's fucking great.
I'm making excuses for myself. Too.
So I just here's something that happened today, which was a surprise. Actually, and I'll tie it back to right after we spoke. My old
in 2023.
Yeah, 2023. Okay. So I used to play in these punk and hardcore bands, and my buddy Red called. He goes, "Yo, Adrian got I think it was COVID or something. He can't play this coming weekend. Do you think you could pull it off?" And I hadn't touched my guitar in like 5 years, so I was like, "I don't know. Send me the set list." So I did. We didn't even practice. He sent me the set list. I did it on my home, and then we just showed up and we played a show, which was fun.
That's badass.
It was so much fun.
That probably was like more fun that you didn't practice because you're in the moment. Like you just gotta
go. Yeah.
Like you know what you need to do, and you gotta like. I'm learning guitar, and I mean learning. I'm not. I'm trying, but like I can just imagine like putting myself in your position. It's like you're just going off the vibe with everyone else. Like,
so
I know
much
what I need to do. Let's see if I can keep up. Kind of like, I'm sure that was thrilled.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's punk, so it's pretty easy. So it's like, the power chord and a pick slide, and you're kind of ready to go. So it was so much fun. I could send you some videos of that. And then, so then that was 23. I haven't touched my guitar since. I haven't touched my electric guitar. I still strum the acoustic. But today, my buddy Red called and he goes, dude, Adrian's mom isn't doing well, and I don't think he's going to be able to play. So I just got asked to do a show on March 7th over at there's a brewery in Morris Plains.
Okay,
know
yeah.
that one?
Yeah, it's the one that's right off Route 10. I know
It's
which
got a
one
weird
you are.
name, too.
Yeah, I completely forgot what it's talking about or what the name is.
I can't think of it.
Audio something or auto something. I don't know. I'll find it. But anyway.
It's right by Menon Arena, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, that's coming up. It's 1 month. He sent me the set list. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I got 30 days. I could pull this off.
How many songs you got to put on that?
Well, it's funny. So he sent me 13. Like 7 or 8 of them I could probably do right now. No practice. The other ones are like, there's a couple new ones. When Ozzy died, they did a Ozzy cover tribute. So Symptom of the Universe. So I got to learn that one.
Yeah, what is it like to perform in front of an live audience?
Oh, I love it. It's fun.
Is it fun?
Oh, it's so much fun. Yeah.
Are you just in the moment? Like, are you even looking at the crowd, or are you just fucking just jamming, like, in the moment?
Both.
Both?
Yeah, both. It all depends. It depends on what the environment's like. But yeah, I was in a couple bands. There's one was like a pure hardcore band, and we didn't do crazy tours, but we did Canada, East Coast, down to Florida and stuff. And it's some of the best days of my life. And
Wait, that's pretty dope. You fucking toured? Yeah. Wait.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we spoke about this.
Oh, really?
And if we did, I
casually talking about touring.
Well, I
in a
toured
band.
in Canada. It's not that much.
Yeah, I toured like parts of Canada and the East Coast. Like, no big deal.
Ohio, yeah.
Dude, that's fucking sick.
The thing.
You were a rock star.
Punk rocker, yeah.
Let's fucking
I love
go.
that shit.
What years were this? I would say what
Excellent
age?
question. What year? No. I was probably... So the band I'm playing with now is called IDK. And they... God, I think the album I toured on was 98. Probably 1998. So I was born in 74.
Yeah.
Nixon was impeached the summer I was born. I guess
There
I'm
you go.
Watergate.
Watergate. That's why you were a rebel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's so much fun. It's so much. If I had my perfect situation, I don't want to practice or rehearse. Like I would play 1 or 2 shows a year. Just like show up, hey, send me the set list and jam. So
you should go to fucking Morristown and do that. They have Laundromat on Wednesdays as an open mic, I think.
This might be a good transition. So I'm excited about this. It's going to be really fun. But one of my goals for 2026 is to try stand-up comedy.
There you go.
Yeah,
You hooked up with Tiz. She's doing that too.
Well, like Joe influenced me to start the podcast. Tiz and I have been talking about this. So
there you go.
She was doing a roast a couple months ago, and I was like texting her some shit, breaking balls. So she's like, just do it. You got to do it. So I have a whole bunch of stuff written, and I think Tuesday they have an open mic in Morris Plains at that dojo, comedy dojo, above Tiff's.
Tiff's, yeah.
Yep. So I think Tuesday I'm just gonna go see how that goes.
Let's fucking go.
So
I'm scared. I'm nervous.
Yeah, dude.
When this episode comes out, episode comes out, you're not gonna be able to go see it, but he's gonna have done it by then.
Oh, I hope so. I like it.
We come out Thursday.
Hold me accountable.
Yeah. We may have a 5-minute segment at the end of the episode add-on. How you did.
I gotta say, man, you have some balls to just take a guitar that you haven't touched in 5 years and just play in front of a show. And then now that you're going to do stand-up comedy, dude, stand-up comedian's probably one of the ballsiest jobs you could ever do.
I have to do something that scares me often.
Why is that?
I don't know. There's something.
You make sure you're still living?
Yeah, I think so. Do something that makes you uncomfortable. And it's because you don't want to do it, right? It's that voice in your head. A couple of, I think I sent you some of this stuff. So I've read a couple books this year, and one of them is called Taming Your Gremlin, or something like that. And the gremlin is this voice in your head, right?
The inner bitch.
You can't do this.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do this. You're not going to be good.
Ego,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other? 10% Happier. I think that's it. The same type of concept. So it's like this human experience. Like I'm always battling me, right? That's it. Like I'm not competing. I'm competing against that voice in my head most of the time. And that's how I win.
Yeah.
When I just shut up. Or it's like the advice I gave to my daughter, like, I'm afraid. Okay, you could be afraid and do it. And that's like with this comment, I'm like, I'm scared shitless. It's probably going to be dumb and nobody's going to get my sense of humor, but I'm going to do it anyway.
You know what? I got to say, I've been to a comedy at a different brewery. I've been to a comedy show, okay? And they had like professional comics, and then they also had like beginner start off men. And I got to tell you, God bless her. I give her all the credit in the world. She was not funny at all. Like, no one laughed, and I felt horrible. But guess what? She had the fucking balls to go up there and do it.
She was in the arena.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you
shut up.
If you're not in the arena, you can't talk.
You don't get a vote.
Yeah, I love what you're saying. We were just saying, reminded me of a clip I saw Instagram Reel, wasting time on there. But it was a snowboarder getting interviewed just before he was doing it. Like, you're shaking, you nervous? He goes, yeah, I don't want to be doing this. And he goes and hits this like fucking 900 like backflip, like crazy thing. And it's just like, yeah, I am scared, and I still fucking did it. Like, so the clip was like a performance coach talking about it. It's like these extreme athletes doing that. It's like, so going and testing like that is like, was it resilience? Is that the definition of resilience? Basically, like having something you're scared about and still being able to perform, just even though you're shitting your pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think resilience is like just doing it even if you don't want to do it, and just consistency. But I think it fits into that.
Even when you hit the wall, you're just keep going.
Just keep going.
Just don't give up.
Wait a second. So how long is your act?
Well, I think these open mics, you only get like a minute, 2 minutes.
Perfect, dude.
So it might be good. Yeah. So
it's good.
It's funny. I do have to practice some and see how long they are.
Yeah.
And like see, can I do a minute one or 2 minute one?
If you do really well, if you tell me you're going to do really well, I'm going to put your name in for Kill Tony.
There you go.
Although, all kidding aside, that might be on a bucket list. Maybe I'll try to do that.
Can you?
Worst case scenario, you just take a trip to Austin.
That's right.
Can you like anyone go on Kill Tony?
Sure.
Yeah.
If you get polled.
Dude, they did the MSG one. Someone performed in MSG for the first time ever doing comedy.
Yeah.
sold out arena of MSG.
Imagine being a comedian. Your life goal is to get MSG, and some dude just fucking goes on Kill Tony. Good for them.
Yeah. I think Joey Diaz, you know Joey Diaz?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I think Joey Diaz does something similar at that dojo
He
place.
does. He's in Morris Plains a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's
we'll
cool,
see.
man.
Joey Diaz.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I got some fucked up shit. I got some drug stuff, some shitting my pants stuff, some funny family stuff.
Hold on a second. Since the people are listening to this are not going to be able to see your act. We're not revealing anything, right?
Yeah.
So these acts that you have are based off of some stories. Are you comfortable sharing those stories?
Sure, I could probably do something.
Because you just said a lot of funny shit there that I feel like has some background.
Honestly, I'm still waiting to hear this other kidnap story too.
Yes. What the, man? You sent me the kidnapping, bro. How did we not touch that the last time?
I've got a lot of. I'm old, Joe. I've got a lot of experience.
Here's
All right, let's
man. What do
segue
you
to
think?
stories. I want to hear stories
That makes more sense.
from Scott Dorey.
All right, so let's do. And it's funny if you notice my Instagram handle is the Dorey Story. So like I'm notorious. I love telling stories, but I'm also notorious for exaggerating stuff to make it more funny or bigger.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So all right,
You're just painting the picture better.
yeah. All right, I'll give you a couple of those childhood ones, and I don't know how we didn't cover some of this, but
We definitely didn't, because I would have remembered kidnapping.
all right, this is a wild one. So a buddy of mine, and I'll leave names out to protect the innocent, but a buddy of mine had this. Like an abusive relationship at home, parents beating the shit out of him, blah, blah, blah. And I just got my license. So I'm 17. And, every day, I'd see this guy and he's my bro and he's getting beat. I said, all right, we're going to get you out of here. So I just learned to drive. I was even scared to drive on the highway, but I took him. A friend of mine had a place in Lodi. I grew up in Belleville, by the way. So a friend of mine had a place in Lodi. And I took him there and he was just going to stay on this guy's couch. And he was probably like 15 years old or something. So that night, the mother's like, where's my child? There's this 15-year-old child. So they called the police. There's a missing child. And I was the last person to see him. So the Belleville police come to my house and they're interviewing me. And I'm like, no, I haven't seen him. And then I started, this is fucked up, but I started throwing other people under the bus. I was like, oh, there's this guy Pedro in Newark that he was skating with. And maybe, Pedro or something. And then the pressure's building, right? Because there's a minor missing. So the next day at school, I get called down to the principal's office. The detectives are there now. They had like the beat cop, the detectives. They're like ratcheting up the pressure a little bit. No, I haven't seen him. Go check. Pedro was the first one. I mean, maybe Brian knows where he is. So I'm like, all these guys that are kind of like in our circle. And then ultimately, it was just time for him to come home. But
Ooh, sorry,
yeah.
that's me.
But yeah, that's the kidnap. So I didn't actually kidnap, but I wound up lying to a lot of the detectives.
Were they pissed?
So what happened? How did it end?
Did you get charged?
Yeah, no charges. Thank God. He, as an adult, he moved away.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
But so he ended up just going back home after
he wound
that.
up going back home.
He was found.
Do things,
Yeah.
do things improve? I don't know how that went.
Yeah.
Was everyone except your friend pissed at you?
A lot of people didn't realize. Like, I was almost the hero that brought him home ultimately, too. Oh. Yeah. So I found him.
Wait, dude, this is the perfect story, dude.
That's funny as shit.
Like, solving the problems I started.
So did that kickstart your, I don't want to say, what's the word I'm looking for?
Mischief.
Yeah, your mischief, or did it start before that?
Rebel personality.
It's a good question. So, Tim and I didn't talk about it, but when I was a kid, my dad died. I was 13, and that was
brutal.
the beginning of the just this whole life journey takes this different trajectory, and you just don't know. So yeah, I did a lot, even like pre-drinking. I had a lot of these juvenile delinquent, bad decision, bad choice things happening.
I remember you told a story about like New Year's or something, New Year's Eve, if I remember correctly.
Might have been my last night drinking. I haven't drank in 20 years. Yeah.
Yes,
God
that's
bless
what it was.
you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, that it didn't work for me. I drank very hard for like 14 years, and it was January was my 20th year without a drink, which is
Congrats.
crazy. Yeah,
That's
like
impressive.
a lifetime ago.
I got a friend that's going on 3 years. I got a friend that's good. He just completed 3 years. So
Yeah,
Shout out to your friend that completed 3
yeah,
years. That's
let's
tough.
go.
Yeah.
It's
tough.
life changing.
Yeah, I mean, not like it doesn't necessarily get easier, but it's more. You get that groove dialed in for the routine,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make it easier. But getting to, like a year, that's tough.
Yeah, the
2 years,
beginning is
2
the
years.
hardest. You're absolutely
I
right.
quit cigarettes, and I remember the big threshold. It was like going one full day without it. That's hard. Every day your habit was having multiple cigarettes a day. Okay, so it's one day. Then it's 3 days. Day 3, for some reason, was always a threshold. And then, like, the week, and then, like, 3 weeks were the big ones. And then it's like, okay, you get 3 weeks, you can probably hit 3 months. Okay, 3 months was tough. And then 6 months, and then it was a year. So it was like these certain hurdles, but, like, it doesn't get easier. And then at some point, it's like you broke the habit, not the habit, but, like, the routine of it.
Yeah.
Almost. So, like, you don't, like you go in your day, you're just looking for the cigarette in the car as you're driving to wherever. And, like, the routine of just going to grab that. Excuse me, it's no longer there.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine with drinking too, because like you're going out with friends. And, like, it's easy to quit cigarettes when none of your friends are going out smoking cigarettes when it's negative 2 degrees out tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of this stuff, it's truly just one day at a time,
Yeah.
right? Like if you're like, oh, I need to get to 1 year, like that seems like a giant hurdle versus I just need to get through this next hour, or I just need to get to bed tonight, like one day. And that's all this is like, all we have is right now, present. Mm-hmm. So like, don't worry about the past and all the crap you did and the people you screwed over and blah, 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 blah. Don't worry about what might happen. Just like, where am I right now?
Yeah.
And for right now, I don't have to drink, right? I could pick up the phone and call somebody. A large part of how I got sober was through AA. So it's an amazing program. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people in life should go through something similar. There's like really good step work, which is a lot of self-reflection, a lot of writing, like getting to the truth of why you do what you did. And then there's some making amends and fixing those things. And what that means to me is like amending the behavior, not like saying sorry. Sorry, anybody could say sorry, but like, are you going to change? Are you going to keep doing that thing, whatever that thing was? But I do think it does get easier. That part of it has gotten easier for me for sure. And then like now I like the thing about being not drinking, I could go anywhere. Like if you're like, yo, we're going to Boston tonight, no problem. Let's go. Like, when I was drinking, like your world gets very small. There's a lot. Oh, I don't even leave town. I don't drive anymore and all of that. But
yeah, because you're probably drunk all the time. You can't. Yeah. Fuck.
It's crazy.
That's good. Good on you. Good on you. That's a very good feat and accomplishment. Not that it should be viewed that way, but you have self-control, and a lot of people don't. So good for you.
My life's better. And a lot of it, like that was like sort of the beginning of my spiritual journey too, because a lot of that program like points you towards some kind of higher power. And the cool thing about it is there's no real hard rules. It's like, what does that mean to you? You can kind of find your own path, and maybe that's Christian or Judaism or Buddhism or like whatever. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's not me. As long as I'm not the one that's, kind of making those decisions.
It's funny. You had something on here with the philosophy. So that actually just answered one of them. But I wanted to touch on that. Is the moments and that people change, or the moments and trajectories that change your life, like the people that change your life, right? So obviously you had a spiritual, I don't know, intervention's not the word, but a spiritual finding through your sober journey, right? But what else? Like, I guess what has been the most impactful person, most impactful thing outside of that that has shaped who you are?
Yeah, and I'll tell you where I was going with that. And this is the cool thing for me. The lesson's always in the rearview mirror. Like, you don't know it when it's happening. Like, you don't know that moment when you're there. So some of the people, I'll use like Omar as an example. So I didn't know at the time while I'm lifting weights with this dude, like I had no idea that at one point he would be the person that connected me to jiu-jitsu, and then more specifically Pure. And then that would be such an important part of my life. Like now I've been training like almost 3 years. I spend most of my life there. A lot of my buddies and friends are there. And like, if it weren't for Omar, I wouldn't have had this chapter in my life. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I didn't realize that was going to be such a path that directed you over there, but it was.
And then how did you get into doing the CrossFit?
So that's another good question.
Because that was you got to get to there first.
So that's right. So and there's people in our lives, and again, you don't know it when you're meeting them. But there's this guy named Chris King, who was in Rockaway, and I knew him through the program. So again, when I had my second kid, I was like 240. I was fat. And I was just like tired all the time and eating shitty food and everything. So I started running, and I hate running. Shin splints, like knees, like especially when you're fat, it's the worst. So my buddy Chris is like, just come up to check out my gym. Come for a month for free or a week for free or something. And then I got hooked. And I think why I got hooked was the people piece.
Yeah.
So you build like this.
What is it called?
Camaraderie.
No. Yes, but no. There's not type 3, but like your third location. There's your home, your work, and then it's the third location where like it's community.
Yeah.
And that's what's so good about CrossFit and Jiu-Jitsu and all that stuff. It's that community aspect where you're not at home with inside your your immediate family. You're not at work with the stress. You're going out and having fun and hanging out with people. And sometimes that's bars for people, which you get it. But like the CrossFit, I think that's one of the big reasons why CrossFit took off so much.
Yeah, sense of community. It's like if you don't see your buddy for a couple of days, you're like, hey, where you slacking, and you're trying to compete with one another, and it's something. That's why I have a tough time doing the strength training by myself. Like I feel like I need community to stay motivated to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But so there's been a girlfriend in my life, Allie, and we were like, when I was doing the band thing, she would come see the shows, whatever, and like we hung out, and she ultimately introduced me to Jen, and who's my wife. And again, if Allie didn't come to the shows and we didn't become friendly, and she didn't, like, I wouldn't have the life that I have today, right? I wouldn't have my children. Like, I might have had children or married somebody else, but like that was one of those people in my life that changed my trajectory forever.
That's a crazy one too, and like in a good way, crazy. Like if you didn't start, I guess, being friendly with this girl, we'll say, you wouldn't have met your wife.
Yeah.
That's a wild one.
Yeah. And it's like this is such a silly example, but it's like, do you go left or do you go right? Right? It could be those moments, like you're in the grocery store and you go right, and then some guy comes in and shoots up everything behind you. Like you're alive because of that choice that you made, and you didn't know it at the time.
Yeah. And I'm just now thinking that and taking the stuff you're doing with challenging yourself, doing the things that you're scared of. You're seizing opportunities. And I sent you a clip earlier this week. I forget what it was called. But the whole premise is like the universe is going to keep drawing you to certain things, and you can either accept it or fight it. Eventually, you're going to, like, you don't have a choice, but like, you're doing the stand-up comedy and all that. Who knows? Maybe you meet someone there and you fucking get a cool stand-up gig and that thing takes off. Or you don't know what's going to happen. Like you met Omar at CrossFit. You don't know. You're seizing opportunities. But But what could happen is you procrastinated, you didn't go that day, and maybe you end up getting hooked on CrossFit, but then you never came to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, you went to a different gym or something.
That's right. I passed like 5 gyms between my house and this gym. So you're absolutely right. There's like a million different paths that things could go.
Yeah. And you know what I'm starting to learn too? And I don't know, maybe you've experienced this. Let's just say you went left when you should have went right. There's a way to get back onto that path.
Sure.
Because it's just because you went left doesn't mean that other option is out of the way.
Yeah. And if we're all going to the same destination, we don't always have to take the same path to get there.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people have to start and stop and start over. And then other people seem to have an easier path. But yeah, it's interesting. I would say that, again, if this podcast stays alive, like you were one of those people in the life that pushed me. And sometimes that's what we need. And you might not even know that you're doing it, which is the cool thing. I have a buddy at work, and he and I were talking, and he's like, I really want to I want to play music and put this album out. I have all these songs in my head. And I just said, just fucking do it. Like, stop talking about it. Just go. Just record this thing. And like 2 months later, he had this awesome 10-song album. And actually, he's the one that pushed me to do the jiu-jitsu tournament. So when I finally,
that's awesome.
He's like, all right, I'm on the phone with you right now. Don't hang up. Just sign up for this stupid thing. So shout out to Casey.
Shout out, dude.
Casey Poems, what up? I think we need people like that.
Yeah.
That are going to challenge us a little bit in our lives.
Yeah.
You know, like real friends. I don't know. There's different times you need different things from your buddies, right? Sometimes you need somebody to just listen. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you need somebody to give you advice, or just to show you the mirror. Like, bro, you're really fucking up. Like, you know, what are you doing? You know better.
You know you're being an asshole.
Yeah.
You know you're doing things you know you shouldn't be doing. Whatever the case is, like, come on. And the problem is that you have to have someone that you know is in your corner for you. You know.
Yeah.
Like, you can have someone at the gym who you're being an asshole to say, "Hey, you're being a fucking dick." And you're like, "Fuck you, dude."
Yeah.
Like, it has to be that person. You know. That it doesn't not necessarily, but it has to be a person in that environment.
You know, they always say like a true friend would tell you when you're fucking up, right? And I get that. You don't want someone who's going to give you fluff because then you can't trust them, right? But at the same time, is it really like, this is going to sound bad, but see where I'm going with this. Is it really someone else's responsibility for my life? So it's not that I'm saying that I'm going to let my friends go off on a path. I will absolutely bring someone back on a path if I see that they're going off of it, right? And help them and be that ear. But does that necessarily not make you a true friend if you're not saying anything? Because is it really my responsibility for you, your responsibility for me? You see where I'm going for that? I've thought about this, and I know it sounds bad, but it's like, I'm not going to let someone harm themselves. So I'm not saying I don't give a shit, but it's really about you. In the end, you got yourself.
I think you got to read the room. I think every situation's unique, and you know, it's hard to give a cookie cutter answer to that. So I've got some very dear friends. I feel incredibly grateful for my marriage, and if you guys are interested, we could talk about like marriage and family and stuff too. But I've got some very good friends that are in very tough situations with their marriages, and I'm always an ear for them, right? You guys want to talk about? One of the mistakes I've made often is oversharing, right? Instantly going to problem solving, like, blah, 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 she's doing this. And I'm like, you got to do this. I've gone as far as like writing a letter to an attorney for them, writing an intervention letter for them, like really over-engineering what the hell I should do. But now I'm just like, what do you need from me, bro? Like, and especially these are my boys, right? So what, you want me to listen? You want me to take you out? What comedy? You want to take you out drinking? Like, what do you need from me? That's where
I was sort of going with it, right? You get to a point where if you try too much to engineer the situation, that person may not like it, and you may come into a point where you butt heads. But I like that approach. Is, well, what do you need from me? What do you need me to listen, or you want help? Yep. I think that's a good approach.
And I think that right there is your ego coming in, and like, I got this. I can figure this. I can fix this for him. And what the transition seems like you learned, which I think everyone needs to do. And as I'm saying this, I'm like, oh man, I do that. But it's like, it's the curiosity. You know, we've talked about this a bunch, even last episode. It's like the question right there, you guys, what do you need from me? How can I help? It's like, you're not saying, I know how to help.
Right.
It's, I have ideas how I can help. What do you need from me? Like, I really like that transition. I didn't even realize what it was until I started talking about it just now. But I'm like, it's the same themes that we've been talking about the whole episode and last week. It's the curiosity, being open minded, but like putting the ego aside. I think too is like with what you're talking about, the friendship and like, are you a true friend if you don't help? I think it's the curiosity. Like, hey, do you need help and all that? But like, if the person just coming to, I think you're leaning towards if they keep asking for help and they do nothing. Like,
well, yeah, that, and also, so let's just say there's like an objective. Hey, you are destroying yourself. Your drinking's out of hand. You're fucking yourself up with these drugs. You need to stop. Like, I would tell someone that, like, hey, you're not going down the right, path. But let's just say it's something else with regards to,
like they drink 16 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah, or something like that. But it's like, what if someone likes to do that? Like, who am I to say? Because then they could easily come back with something that I do that I should stop, but it's not harming me. It's not harming anyone else. So why am I going to that's really what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah. If it's working for you, why would you ever stop? Right? Like, hey, look, if I am like very freedom oriented. Like my political platform, by the way, would be peace, freedom, and personal accountability. That's basically it. That's like my presidency.
Like that.
That's it. You're free to choose. You're not free from the consequences of your choices, but you could choose to do whatever you want to. So, I mean, one of my very good friends, like he had a real rough day, and instead of talking, we just split firewood for like 8 hours, which is like a real manly, woodsy, I don't have to talk. We're just like working together. He's out of the situation, and that was enough.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes that's all you need. Just someone, communal suffering.
Yeah, yeah.
But like that, I don't know what's the describing term of that kind of task, though. It's like repetitive. It's not easy, but it's not really overly hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's exhausting.
Mundane.
Kind of.
You shut the brain off.
Yeah. I really I landscaped through college, and that was one of my greatest. Like, I loved that job.
Yeah.
If it paid as good as my engineering job, I'd still do it.
Yeah.
And it was backbreaking, but I didn't fucking mind. Walking, cutting lawns, weed whacking, and doing the leaf blower and all that stuff. You get in that weird, the brain, what'd you call it? Thinking time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, but like, you get in that weird rhythm, and you're doing it with a buddy. You don't even have to talk. You're just going through it together, and you get that. I'm sure that's what it's like when you're playing on stage with the band. Like, you get the rhythm, and you're vibing off each other, and like, you're getting around, like, you're letting him go, and are you walking around each other, moving around, so no one's in your way, but you don't have to say a word. You just know. Like, you're building camaraderie in a weird task that this kind of means nothing, but also means a lot.
When you find friends that you could feel comfortable doing that with, hang on to them.
Yes, and friends that you can open up to.
Yeah.
That will not tell you to shut up and bottle everything. That's very important.
It's super unhealthy. I mean, like, we do that to men in our country, and I think that's part of why, as men age, there's a lot of like tough health consequences. They start to have money consequences. They've got issues with their wives and kids and all of this stuff. And men just aren't as good at communicating their feelings and stuff. And I think that's super important.
Yeah, it's like the dichotomy of it. So I see the one side, like, we could both be right, we could both be wrong. Let's go back to that. I see the one side of it. If you are the main one who's in charge of your family, in charge is a bad word, who is the backbone of the family in regards of providing, okay? So you can't really be the one who's always opening up and complaining and bitching. It's, you just got to solve the problem. I get that part. But then there's the part where some guy is really suffering, and I'm not talking about a babbling bitch of something that doesn't matter. I'm talking about some dude's like really suffering, and then we tell him like, yo, dude, just suck it up. It's like, what the fuck? What? Yeah. No. You know what I mean? Like, there's like, so I see both sides.
Yeah, there's a fine line. See, Jen and I, I've been married like 25 years or something. My wife's awesome. She's crazy. She's great. She's a wonderful mom. But our parenting style is like pretty inclusive. Like, our kids, I want them to hear me struggle. Like, when I have to figure out some math, like, oh, I got to pay the mortgage and pay this, like, they should be part of that. And how do they learn to do that in the real world? It's like, you show them, and this is stupid, but like, you go out to dinner and you show them how to leave a tip and how to do the math and how to talk to a waiter or waitress. And kids are very much like sponges. So they're going to watch how you talk to one another. They're they're going to see how their dad treats their mom, and hopefully
That's a big one. That is and vice versa too.
Yeah.
How the mom treats the dad, both sides. That's huge.
Yep. But you're right too, Joe. Like you can't overburden kids with things that they're just not ready to comprehend yet too.
Yeah.
So that's like, where the discretion comes in.
And I'm sure that line is always evolving, is going forward and backwards.
Oh yeah.
And
as they get older, they're super smart. They're way smarter than you think they are. They know more about the world than you wish they did.
Yeah. The importance of, like, let's just take how you treat your wife, right? Whether you think so or not, they're subconsciously, like you said, they're sponges. They're subconsciously
100%.
picking that up. So they may not even notice, but they are.
Yeah, if you're full of shit, even like something as simple as you on your phone, and this is just like a modern day thing, but like if you're sitting on your phone for 5 hours and your kids are there and your wife's there and you're not talking to them, and then you tell them to get off their device, like, we lead by example.
The respect is lost every time. Yeah. A little bit every time you make that comment. It's like, you're a hypocrite. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like telling your kids not to smoke cigarettes while you're a pack a day person.
That's right.
Like,
do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, that never works.
Lead from the front, lead by example.
Yeah, I think I told Joe last time, I will typically delete social media off my phone Sunday nights, and then Friday I could put it back on, right? Because I'm kind of done goofing around. It's like a governor that I need, because it's like, the temptation, and it's easy to put it back on there, but
it's so bad.
Yeah, it just takes the extra. Okay, I got to download the app. Like, okay, I don't need to do this. Right?
Yeah, I put a 15-minute timer on.
I love it.
Somehow Instagram always goes back up to an hour.
So you and your wife, you are very, I don't want to say laissez-faire is not the right word. You definitely have discipline, but you're more involved, I would say. You're always inclusive of what they're sharing your scenario.
Very much so. They know. And first of all, Jen and I have a really solid marriage. We don't fight. I mean, we'll disagree on things, but we've never, like in 25 years, we've never yelled at each other.
That's fucking key.
We're Italians over here, though. Yeah. Yelling's our love language.
Yeah. It's, and she would probably say that's because of me. But it's just not productive, right?
Yeah.
And if you could take the emotion out of any of those conversations and you just stick to the facts and the basics, I think it's definitely healthier. But, Jen and I, we want to expose the kids to lots of different stuff. Like Tanner's not doing jujitsu, which sort of breaks my heart a little bit. But she got signed up for Denville travel softball rather, which she didn't even own a mitt, but she's a giant, strong kid. So she hit like home run her first tryout.
That's awesome.
They're like, all right, she made the team. So, so I kind of let her do that, and it's what she wanted to do. So I want them to find their own paths. And make their own choices and decisions.
That right there, those three things, is the path and the choices and decisions. Like having that autonomy over their own life is so important, especially I feel like the trajectory is changing a little bit, but the whole school system stuff. You shut up, you sit down, you do the work, you do what we tell you, and it's like you go to college, you do these things. Like you're just supposed to listen, and they're going to tell you what you're supposed to do. And it seems a lot more, people are going more towards this now, but it's like pursuing the things you're interested in and the things you're driven to, like doing the stand-up comedy. That's something you're driven to do. So like having that as a parent, as a backbone is great. The school system and all that stuff is slowly starting to change, but that's a huge, I've seen the difference. I have friends with kids in all different age groups, and like the ones that's like, no, you're going to do what we tell you versus that. And it's like, when the kids are bought into it and it's what they want to do, man, they just take off and go.
Yeah. And the opposite's true. When you're doing it for you, because I used to be a cheerleader, you're going to be and they resent you, right? They hate you for it. They don't want to do it. You're dragging them to it. Definitely not a good thing. I read this book. So here's a cool book review. There's a book called The Anxious Generation.
Okay.
Jonathan Haidt, I think. It's really awesome.
About millennials?
It is about, so there's enough data that they could draw it back to the invention of the smartphone. So once the smartphone was invented, the kids' mental health basically started plummeting, and it's like a clear chart. And specifically young people, their brains are still forming, and they're trying to learn relationships. And social media has been a ultimately a net negative, and screen time has been a net negative. So this anxious generation draws a direct correlation between like suicide rates for young people, girls, blah, 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 all this stuff. So Denville actually did this 4-part series with all the parents and teachers and all that stuff to try to like solve and problem solve for the district, which is pretty cool. So they don't allow phones in the classrooms, in the schools. A lot of it is unsupervised play. So like instead of me being like helicoptering over them and bringing them to this play data, just go outside, go figure something out in the woods, like go
back into the 80s and 90s.
Exactly,
yeah, dude.
Basically back to when it was always kids.
Let them problem solve. Let them put them in situations that they have to figure things out. We let our kids walk to town, which again they got to navigate the highway and everything. But I'm like, yeah, it's an experience. I got them debit cards so they'll go to like Thatcher's by themselves, order some pretzels or whatever, and I'm like, you better leave her 20% tip. So they've got to figure out how to pay, how to leave the tip, how to be polite to humans, how to get home. And that's part of the solutioning in the anxious generation is to stop helicoptering, letting them figure it out, letting them get bored. We don't let kids get bored anymore.
Don't take away the struggle.
Yes.
I've seen that a lot. And it's like, I'm sure I'm talking to a parent without having any kids, but it's like, they're struggling to tie their shoe. Don't go and hop in right away. Let them fucking do it.
Yep.
You don't need to fix it. It's a sneaker being tied. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're not getting hurt themselves. Like, okay, they don't have their shoe tied. They're going to learn that they need to tie their shoe when they trip themselves. Yeah. Like, dude, I love that.
Those are the little things too.
Yeah.
Got to let them practice. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that the walking down the town and all that and debit card, that you're giving them responsibilities and small little nuggets in easy digestible. Like I'm assuming you're meeting them at the levels they're at.
Yeah.
And maybe pushing the limits too a little bit, but like you're not giving them a keys to the car and like, here, you balance the budget and tell us, make sure these mortgages are paid with our income coming. Like it's not that.
Not quite.
No. I'm sure though if you gave it to them, it's like, we could probably figure this out.
So I will tell you a funny story. Tanner, both of them drive my car now. So my car's a piece of shit, which is great. It's great for but Tanner was like 11. I probably shouldn't say this on...
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. Yes.
Supposedly she is 18 minus 7 plus 7.
Yeah.
But she's a great driver. So we would come home from jiu-jitsu, and as soon as we got on our block, she'd go, switch seats. So I jump out, she'd jump in, and she'd drive up the street, park. She could K-turn. In the morning, I have them start the car, get the heat going, pull the car up to the mailbox. So by the time they're like ready to get their license, they'll have a lot of wheel time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really important too, is like, you're giving them, like I said, it's the little digestible nuggets of life lessons. And like, that's a huge thing. So the one thing I'd learned a lot growing up is, my dad grew up down the shore in Tom's River and he grew up sailing. So when I grew up, we always had boats and we would go down the shore. His mom lived down there. So every summer we would take the boat, we have a truck, trailer with the boat on the trailer, and we drive down. I would be the one helping him set up and unhook the boat, unhook the trailer. I can back up a trailer, no problem. Most people I've I was talking, I'm not going to say names on the podcast, but I was talking to a couple of guys from the gym, and they're like, dude, I can't fucking back up a trailer. Dude, it's second nature to me.
Yeah.
But it's like, because I had my whole life, and I didn't back up the trailer. I guided my dad. I never drove the truck, but it was like 20 minutes at a time, hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Those little bits
reps,
of, but tiny little reps. And like
reps.
Being able to do that in like little segments and like give them the opportunity to take a little risk, but the opportunity to get the little wins.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Do you know,
awesome.
I want to go back to what you said about like, you made the joke about balancing the budget. Like you're not going to let them do that. And then you're like, oh, well, maybe they should. You know what's funny? Doing something like they're driving on the block. They're doing the K-turns. You were backing up the trailer, right? Kids are probably the best brains to do that to. I bet you if you gave Tanner some parameters about the budget just for fun, I bet you she'd figure something out. And because you want to know why, when you get older, you get taught about you get more limits placed on you, and if you accept those limits, you're like, oh, this is too hard. Where she's just like, all right, let me fucking do this. Like, you give me a budget, let me see if I can do it, right? It's like with the jiu-jitsu. She was so tired, but all you had to tell her was, you got this. Just don't give up on yourself, and she didn't. So I feel like the kids are like the best, have the best minds for that.
Well, they're learning. They got the best minds for learning, period. It's just their brains are so malleable and flexible. Yeah. I don't know if I'd trust her with all of the budget. There'd probably be a lot of Pliables and Starbucks. Yeah, shout out to Pliables.
Yeah. But you could... the joke I was making though was like, oh, they can pay the mortgage. It's like, if you like, here, listen, here's the bank, here's how you pay it. You figure out how to get it done. You know
what I do with them, which is like almost along. So if they get a Christmas check from Grandpa or something, oh, here's $500. We're going to put half of this in your investment account. And I had to open an investment account like the day they got their social security number. But I don't just buy stuff. I'm like, all right, you've got 300. What are we going to buy? And tell me, I make them pitch to me why they want to buy something.
That's right. I love that.
So
I love that.
I'm trying to think of the best ones they did. They did, TJ Maxx is still performing. I think they're like 60% up on that. And her pitch at the time was like, it was just before back to school. Dad, everybody's going to get backpacks and and I think it's a good time. I was okay. Let's go.
That's so smart.
That's her proposition.
That right there, that little bit of you just saying why.
Yeah.
Made her think about that.
Yep.
And it's like they're getting backpacks. Yeah, exactly. It's perfect.
And just as important as the ones they've won on. So the other one was Michael's Craft Supply.
Yeah.
They bought that just before private equity took it, and it went up like 45%. So that was like a real win. That was a little luck, but they've lost too. So it's like Starbucks. Tanner's like, I want to buy Starbucks because all my friends drink Starbucks and we love Starbucks and blah, blah, blah. And Starbucks stock generally sucks. Part of it's their whole U.S. market saturated. There's there's nothing else to grow here. And she lost, 5%, 10%. But that's a good lesson too, right? It's like the wins are great, right? You want
you bought a business that's doing really well. Cool. Yeah. But like you said, it's saturated, Like it's peaked. So yeah, that's a great lesson.
I love how you make them pitch the stock. Yo, they're like, remember how we said, I'm going to relate this. Remember how you said you ran into so many people that changed the trajectory of your life, but you didn't notice it until afterward? These little things are going to allow that. Like, they're going to hit when they're adults. They're going to be in a situation and they're going to be like, oh, wait, I remember this from when Dad made me do this. And then it's just going to help them out.
I hope so. The one concept, I feel like I told you this last time because I've been telling them for the whole lives, is the one lesson. And that's, it's just make good choices.
Yeah.
I'm such a believer. First of all, I'm a believer in the United States. Like, I love this place. Specifically, like, if you're Morris County, New Jersey in 2026, you've already won the lottery. Like,
yeah,
you're one of the luckiest people in the world. And if your life is going to turn out as a result of the choices you make, whether it's what I drink, which I shouldn't, don't drink crap like this, don't eat crappy food, the people you hang out with, the stuff you watch, anything, any
that last
choices.
One's big. People don't realize that. I've not to hijack the conversation.
The watching stuff. No, go ahead.
Watching. I've really leaned out the stuff. Like, I used to love The Walking Dead.
Oh,
I stopped because the show was just. But like,
jump the shark.
Yeah, huge jump the shark. But like, at the same time, like, I limit the amount of shows I watch like that anymore. It just, you can feel anxiety ramp up after. Like, first couple seasons were fantastic.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, great show. Listen, I'm going to rewatch it at some point, but I'm going to make sure it's a time in my life where I'm not stressed out or bugging out or spending money on renovating a house. Like, I'm not, things gotta be going really good, so that's a huge thing. Sorry.
I think once Glenn died, I stopped watching.
That's exactly when I stopped.
Yeah.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
Where are you going with that? Sorry.
Well, it's just like your diet is more than just your food, right? It's the people you spend time with, the stuff you listen to. Anyway, so when something goes wrong in my life, 90% of the time, it's because of a choice that I made. Something I did, something I didn't do, something I said, something I didn't say, that sort of thing. So that's, if they walk away with nothing into adulthood, I want in the back of their head, make a good choice. Like, is this a good choice? And another, I can give you like a real example with my wife. Like, I love my wife. She spends a lot of money and I never tell her no. I just say, how are you going to pay for it? Like, that's always the answer. So we just did this awesome addition. I moved my mom into the house this year. Family house. So it made sense. But I was like, baby, you got to go back to work. So my wife is a hustler. So now she's got a full-time job where she's doing 40, 50 hours, traveling all over the place, plus running an apartment complex with mortgages and rents. Like, she barely sleeps. But then that goes back, make a good choice. That's the choice she made. She wanted that investment. And now she's figuring out the consequence.
Yeah. I like that question. Is not saying no, just how are we paying for it?
Yeah. Figure it out.
Because that's realistically what it comes down to. How are we paying for it?
Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to take that nugget.
Mm-hmm.
They say something like with intelligence is or like when you ask questions, it's a sign of intelligence. So it's like, you're not just giving a statement. You're asking how they're going to provide the solution is brilliant.
Yeah, show me.
It's just like, show me, yeah. Yeah. And it's not like, and it's not a pretentious one. It's not like, how the fuck are you going to pay for that? It's all right. You want to do this? Cool. How are we going to do this?
Yeah, let's do the math. Yeah. Let's do it together.
Because the minute that you open it up to an interrogative and ask that question, your mind starts trying to find a solution instead of just being like, no, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could shut it down, and that's how those relationships break down, like the failure to communicate.
That's a big one. Communication. Yeah, I don't know what it look. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've been in a marriage because I haven't. But I mean, I can only imagine.
I'm going to keep my jokes to myself.
Yeah, I think I know you were going with that. We won't say anything about it. I may have more experience than you think.
Anyway, go on.
The
communication.
It's just like, I don't want to make this so easy, but shouldn't it be as simple as just listening? Right? Shouldn't it be as simple as just listening?
It should. It's the same. It's coming back to the conversation about what we were talking about with politics.
Yeah.
And I think you even talked about this when you talk about how you and your wife don't fight, is if you could take the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing. People don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. You can go and talk to someone and say, hey, Joe, like, I need that water bottle. I'm thirsty. I have no water. Can I have that? And they're like, no, this is fucking mine. It's like, whoa, I just asked a question. I need the water bottle.
Yeah.
And you just snap it. Like, people can't. Sometimes you hit them on the bad day. Sometimes it's a topic that's just a sore topic, and they don't know how to turn it off. And the other thing, too, is which I think a lot of the lessons you're doing, like, hey, pitch me why the stock is that you want to invest into. People don't know why they're making decisions half the time. They just go and do it. You know, and I think you even touched on that with AA. You were saying that it's like going back and looking at your, the past and figuring the stuff out, and then like making amends. Like, you figured out why you were doing those things, and then they figured out how to make the decision better. It's already happened, but how can you make the situation better? So like, people don't know how to do that. It's a very unlearned skill that people can't. It's not impossible. It's not necessarily difficult to learn, but it takes effort and practice.
Yeah, and desire, and you have to want to. Something in your life has to not be working. Change is really hard. Like, even when change is good, it's always hard, right? Mm-hmm. People get and the older you get, the more set in your patterns you are. Like, the deeper the grooves get, so the harder it is to change as we get older. But
not if you start doing the things that scare you more often.
Well,
you always never get a chance to get grooved.
Obviously, it's not good to generalize all change, right? But is it that change is hard, or do we make it hard? Because is it as simple as just being like, oh, take the emotion out of it? Because someone hearing this right now being like, yes, fucking, there's someone here, and I don't care who is. 25 years, they've never yelled it. That's bull. It's like, no, I believe it. You want to know why? Because you take the emotion out of it. So for you, that's easy. It's not hard, but like, is it that hard to take the emotion out of it?
Yeah, I don't.
Or do people are just too stubborn?
And Tim said it earlier too. Like, I don't think we ever arrive anywhere, right? It's a practice, right? The communicate. It's a practice of communicate. It's a practice of jiu-jitsu. You never even when you get your black belt, you're not done. That's not, it's a practice. I think all of these things, it's a human condition. And we're always going to have emotions, and very few of us are going to be like totally flatlined. Like, there's going to be peaks and valleys. And that's a big part of the marriage too. Like, you can't, I again, everything I say, I speak for myself, but like, I can't rely on my wife for everything, right? She can't be my lover and my mother of my children and my chef. And like, I can't, it's unrealistic to put all of those burdens on anybody. So like, we should complement each other, right? There's certain days where I'm going to have great energy and I could do this, and she's not feeling well. I got to pick up the burden. Mm-hmm. And then the next day, maybe and it's not like a competition of like, oh, well, I did these 5 chores. Now you have to do these 5 chores. It's like, as a team, you kind of do what you need to do for what's best for your family.
Team.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. That's the thing I always preach about. But like you were talking about, like, these 5 chores and those 5 chores. People do have relationships like that. And some people that's how their brain works. This is what I do. I have to do the same routine every time, whatever. But it's like the picking up the pattern and stuff is like, we have the responsibilities to manage the house. Like, just think of business wise, man, like the kids, they need to be fed and all that stuff. Like, there's just stuff that needs to get done. And like, sometimes, like, if I'm away on a work trip, my wife's got to take care of everything because I'm not here. Okay. When I get home, hey, you were here taking care of all this shit. I'm exhausted from my work trip. What are we going to do? You're exhausted. We still both got to meet us at the same level. Like, all right, shit's got to get done. okay, you're burnt out. My wife's a cop. And like, oh, you just worked a 12-hour shift. I just got back from the airport. Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm from the airport. I didn't deal with fucking pulling jerk-offs all day long for 12 hours. I got this. You go relax. I got the dogs. I'm going to sit and make dinner. Like,
That's
it's
awesome.
like, but it's having the conversation. But it's the practice you're talking about. It's like, these are learned skills, and like turning off the emotion, that's not an easy skill. It's very simple, but it's not easy. And sometimes the practice that we have learned in our life is you come from a bad household where all they do is argue. So that's what you know. Now you have to unlearn that practice before you can start learning the other one.
That's right.
And maybe it's not necessarily before start learning, but like there's going to be an overlap of unlearning a bad habit before you start developing the new one.
That's absolutely right. That's kind of like the military, like a lot of times they break you down to build you up. Same concept, I think. And a lot of that AA stuff, it's like you got to clear the deck, right? Before you can start building anything, you got to like clear all the shit off. And then you've got a flat ground, then you can start kind of building your foundation. Mm-hmm. Something you said just reminded me, and I use this at work recently. It's like one of those things when you're talking about the emotions and conversations. Let me see if I get this right. Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? And does it need to be said right now? So like if I could, again, it's hard in the action, right? You're like, and I'm like, I don't need to say anything here. I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to listen. Like I don't need to say this. So if I can put those filters before I talk, that's definitely helpful.
Yeah, those I really like that.
Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? Does it need to be said by me right now?
Clips.
Yeah, I already got the
mental note.
timestamp.
That's awesome. Yeah, because that's one thing I've struggled with is the knowing to distinguish between does this need to be done right now or not. And there's things that pop off. Like someone asked me a question. I'm in the middle of doing something. For whatever reason, I don't ever think, oh, let me just wait until what I'm doing, then I'll answer it. They're not saying I need an answer right now. They just happen to ask me while I'm in the middle of doing something. And to me, it's like I have to answer it. Yeah. And it's like, no, I can fucking wait.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I'm like you, dude. I got to answer right away, and you don't. They're not expecting that.
It's like, and I also think maybe that's also coming from like us growing up with like cell phones coming out with text messages, like quick and instant.
Always
like,
available.
Yeah, and like people would play games with like, oh no, I'm not going to text back, right? Like it's not that big of a fucking deal about when you respond or not. Like, okay, if I ask you something and you're waiting for a response and I just ignore you and it looks like I'm doing nothing, I'm going to maybe just tell hold on one second. I'm in the middle of doing something or I'm thinking. But like, you don't have to do stuff immediately so that there was the three things again. It's like, does it need to be said? Do I need to say it? And do I need to respond right now?
Yeah.
Like, those are huge things.
If you think about it, texting, we're not made to text. And I text, right? But humans aren't made to text. You know this better than us.
It's a bad way of communication.
Yeah. You know this better than us because you grew up in the 70s and 80s. We grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s before this shit came out, before text messaging. So we knew what it was like. But when you were going on a date, you called the house, asked for so-and-so. When you went home on the date, you didn't give a text, I just got home. You drove her home, right? It's just completely different. Nowadays, like you said, it needs to be instant. And I do the same thing. I'll fucking respond. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just doing the right thing. But it's like, there's no right thing.
Here's a text solution that I've employed to avoid some of that. So, on Outlook, if you use Outlook, you can set a delivery time. So if, like, let's say I'm doing something at midnight. Like, I don't want that person to be like, oh my God, I got to respond to Scott at midnight. So I just say, deliver at 8 a.m. You've got the delivery function. So that's a little tech hack. I have a funny story. You just reminded me of dating. So I dated this girl in high school. This is one of the notes I said, and I totally forgot about this prior. So super cute girl, beautiful girl. And we're first dating and just getting to know her. Like, oh, this is my mom. And I was like, oh, where's your dad at? He goes, well, my dad's in jail. I was like, oh, okay. That's cool. Like, so I said, what did he do? So her dad used to drive for the Philly mob. He was like a driver for one of the Philly mobsters, and him and his buddies wound up knocking off an armored car, so they had the stick up crew and pull it over. And, so when I first met her, he was in prison. He was doing a 10-year stint, for armed robbery. And I was like 16 years old, maybe 17, like right around. And, young love doesn't always last. So I break up with her, and he got out of jail. So he calls my house, by the way, at my mother's house, and I picked up, by the way, I had a rotary phone. You guys know what that? Yeah. So, hello, I just want to meet the man that broke my daughter's heart. We need to get together. And I'm like, there is no fucking way I'm meeting this guy. His name, and I'll show you the article after, but his name was Crazy Willie, blah, blah, blah. And, so I'd never met up with this guy, but then the article I could send you. He won a shot. Like he had a bag of cash and cards, like card decks of cards. They found him down by the Passaic River.
Wow, the fuck,
insane. Yep, crazy Willie.
Crazy Willie.
I used to think it was Willie the Gun. I don't know why I made that up in my head, but
Willie the Gun.
And I don't know my mob families that well, but.
Willie the Gun.
Yeah, because that's everyone should know that living in Jersey is knowing the mob families, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Italian, right?
Not a good Italian.
How dare you? Yeah. You're not a real Italian. You don't know your mob family.
Funny. I did grow up in Belleville, and I was like the only non-Italian guy there.
That's funny.
Which is
yeah,
like European mutts.
my high school ex, her family grew up from Belleville, also Italian.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you said that, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Wild.
All right, so I'm forgive me here. I'm not being rude. I'm just putting the timestamps that I want to look at later.
You.
Yeah. What, does this need to be done right now?
What's up? Yeah. You fucking asshole. I put minute 520 thanks to you.
Good. That's what you get for doing it right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Rude. Another something in that line, like, is it going to matter? Is this going to matter in 5 minutes? Is it going to matter in 5 days? Is it going to matter in 5 years? So most of the things that we make out to be these catastrophes, you're like, oh my God, this is the end of my relationship, the end of the thing. It's like most of the things aren't as big as we think they are. There are life-changing moments. But
you're saying that, and I'm thinking about with like kids, like
Well, that was young.
My mic was disconnected. I mean, my mic in my throat.
Dude, what's with your robot, Joe? Your robot's glitching.
All right, so we are going to timestamp that one.
Don't worry, I'm on antibiotics and an inhaler and all this stuff.
Dude, guys, Timmy's not a real human. I bought a robot.
Elon Musk hasn't reprogrammed
His sex robot.
Yeah, right. So I try to segue back into the conversation. So does this matter now, or will it matter in 5 minutes, five months, whatever? How do you bring that ethos into like with parenting and like correcting like your kids, like, putting a knife in a outlet, like that's a stupidly obvious one, but like those things that like, does this need to be corrected or not? Like, yeah, it does, but like, like how does that come in?
It's like, does the punishment fit the crime?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is it a big deal? If it's a big deal, if there's a kid running out into traffic, you gotta yell, get the fuck out of it, if they're doing something stupid.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're laughing at me?
Joe's glitching.
I'm glitching. Yeah, that was fucking insane. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Let me get this out of here, guys. I can't. But I have. All right. Let's continue.
Let's be real in itself. It's just that Timmy glitching.
I'm so sorry. All right, Joe. Come on. We got a show. This is a serious.
You're a professional.
I'm a professional.
Kind of. Not really.
Not really.
We pay. We don't get paid yet.
Yeah.
Great. Let's take a break.
All right. No, we're good.
This is a good process too.
Yeah.
All right. So you were saying that it's like if they get out of the road, get the fuck out of the road. So it depends on the severity of the case, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's this is like a super minor thing, and it's going to sound silly and petty, but it's a lot of parents, and I'm guilty of this. Like, we'll clean up after our kids all the time. Oh, take your dishes and do.
Dude, that's a big point.
It's a baby thing, but if you start to get them to do it, right, they start to value their time, and they're less likely to make a mess next time if they spend an hour cleaning it up.
Oh, 100%. If you tell someone that they have to fucking clean up the mess that they made, and they're always panting, like, I don't want to fucking do this, don't make the mess next time.
Yeah, that point right there too is impressive. Like I don't know why I said impressive, but like a big point is like they'll still like it changes their, but it's like learning them. Now I'm a shot.
You can't be doing this to me right now. I already have the giggles. I know.
What's in that cup, Joe? What's he drinking?
I think Joe smokes some weed. Allegedly. Sorry, I don't know what you're. Anyway, he did it. It's learning the skill of like not skill, but like you're taking care of the kid. You're taking away the struggle. You're babying them, and that's a huge thing. Like let alone they won't now make as much of a mess, but like it's like they're learning personal responsibility. I have a friend of mine, kid's 18 months old, and cleans up after herself.
Wait. The kid is 18 months old.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
thought
who my friend is?
Yeah. No, I heard the friend was 18 months old.
I don't know, maybe I said it. But my buddy, his daughter is 18 months. And like he'll go to daycare. She grabs her jacket and her sneakers and opens the door for him as they walk out.
That's
at
so
18
cute.
months. Yeah.
Hey,
like,
Dad, I packed your lunch.
he was getting like a new shovel like for cleaner's driveway, and she was helping him put it together, and he's like giving her the bolts to put in. And like,
is this who? Forgive me. Who helped us? Matt?
No.
Okay.
He doesn't have a kid.
Oh, that's why he has a dog. That's why. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's like letting them do that and including them in that. But like the not cleaning up after them. Like, no, you gotta like. That's a huge thing. That's one of those things. I guess that's kind of the question I was asking.
And it's huge, but it's not. Yeah. Right? It seems so minor, and it's not a big deal. And again, you do it once, no big deal. But if every day you clean up after them, and they don't feel, and again, it's consequences, but they don't feel any of the consequences of their actions. Right? They're not learning. They're not going to change. There's no need to change.
But you know what I liked? I'm sorry. Good. With that, like a very small one, the family dinner. For me, growing up was the most important thing.
Oh yeah,
everyone's talking to each other, present. Obviously, we didn't have cell phones the time I'm talking, but everyone's present. Everyone's talking to each other, and we're having a conversation. And that I think is a missing. That is so fucking important.
Yeah. We moved. I moved my mom in this year, and she's like getting older. We sold her place, so one of the most beautiful things that's happened. There's a lot of beautiful things in the last 6 months, but I'll walk out of my office, which is upstairs, and I look down, and my mom is in the kitchen with the girls, right? And like Hayden's sous chefing, she's chopping stuff, and my mom's cooking, and they're listening to like Diana Ross or something on the thing. It's just that's like beautiful, magical moment. And
ultimate
they don't
family values.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I think like what I've seen is when grandparents live with their grandkids, it's very old school, right?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of, but they both benefit, right? So that the older people, they have this new life and this energy, and for better or for worse, right? They're screaming and yelling and a mess all the time, but it like elevates the energy. Simultaneously, the kids are kind of like learning shit from grandpa and grandma, and they're like teaching that, and it's just precious time that they won't.
That's beautiful. Yeah,
it's memories they will never forget.
That's right.
Yeah,
growing up with Nana,
pass down stories. Yeah, and they can tell them all the stuff that mom and dad did when they were kids that they weren't supposed to.
Oh, Tanner loves it. She loves me telling stories about shit I did, and the fights I got in. And one of another example of like fixing problems for your kids that I think is a funny experiment. So you guys know where Gardner Field is in Denville? Right by the Burger King.
No.
It's this great field. So they have monkey bars and swings and ropes, all this shit. So we would take our kids there, and there's different types of parents. So there's the parents like Jen and I. Our kids would climb to the top of the thing, and they're like, help. I'm like, you got up there, figure it out, get down. And then there's the other dads that are like, their kids are on the monkey bar, and every rung, they're ready to catch them. They're like, just right outside the thing. And, again, that's kind of like that anxious generation thing. We're like, you got in that situation, see if you could fix it, right?
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah.
So the with picking up after the kids too, we're back to this because at a point, when you start doing that, right? I'm assuming like what ends up happening is the kids go to bed and you see the mess left out. You're like, I need to deal with this. This is bothering me or whatever. So you do that. They never learn that that's an issue.
That's right.
Like that's an unlearned. Like it's the not learning the skill of how to have a conversation with your spouse and making an argument. It's the not knowing that this was a mess and it had to be cleaned up. It just gets cleaned up, so like even like you're almost doing them a disservice. Like it may fix it in the moment, but then it's just they expect it and they don't even know that it's an issue.
It's entitlement. Yeah, they don't learn skills. One of the coolest things about our audition, they have their own laundry room now.
That's awesome.
Day one, I stopped doing their laundry. You guys have it. You know how to use the machines. You get a stain.
Just don't break my laundry machine.
Yeah, exactly. My electric bill's $1 million. But
don't overfill it.
Yeah.
Don't put dish detergent in it.
Oh my God.
Get sunscreen on the
That'd be
side.
fucking hilarious.
It's wild. But Jen was flipping houses for a while in between some of the corporate crap she did. So we had the kids like hauling lumber. Even now she gets like all these materials. Like it's not Jen's job to move those boxes to the garage. Like we do that shit as a family. Like the kids, like another thing, my kids drive. We have a little a Ranger, like an ATV.
Yeah.
So Tanner can drive that thing like better than I can, frankly. But she'll like K-turn, bring that thing up to the porch, load all Jen's boxes, bring them up to the thing.
That's fucking sick.
Gotta get this.
Your kids are living the life,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Yeah, they got the responsibilities, they have to do their own laundry, but to get them to drive a Ranger around?
Yeah,
that's
why
cool.
not?
They are living the life.
That is awesome.
And I want them to be grateful for that. Actually, that could be a good transition. So, raising kids is hard. It's the best. It's the thing I love the most. It's like, I love being a dad. It makes me sad that they're growing up so fast. Like I look, when I do go on Facebook, I look at the memories. I'm like, they were babies yesterday. How did this happen? And I love all the time they'll give me. So I drive them to school in the morning, even though they don't need it, but they talk to me. They're like, oh, Dad, whatever. But this year I'm taking them both on a service trip down to Appalachia. So, again, living in Morris County their whole lives, having this silver spoon in their mouth. I want them to know, I want them just to be grateful and see what they have and see how other people live. Last year I took my older daughter down, the two of us went, and she came back. In 1 week, she came back a changed person. There was just a different perspective. Doesn't assume as much. I think she came back with a new perspective.
What do you mean by assume? Expect or assume?
It's probably, you could probably use either of them interchangeably. So like the fact that she gets 3 meals a day.
Okay. Yeah.
The fact that she has heat and air conditioning. The fact that she has pets that get to come in the house. The fact that she has both parents. Like there's a lot of things that we take for granted. And, I think until you can see or empathize with what other people are going through, it's like what you were talking about earlier too. Like we don't take the time to see other people's perspective. We don't empathize with other people. We just have our filter, right? Our lens of how the world
Main
works.
character syndrome.
That's right.
Yeah.
Main character in the story.
Yeah, you're saying all that, and I like that aspect too. Especially this is a service trip, so it's volunteer work, right? I'm assuming. So like that right there in itself is a huge rewarding experience. And at the age that your daughter is too, doing that's big. Most people live the whole life never doing stuff like that. And that's one of the things, like my wife and I like to travel a lot, and we wanted, when we have kids, is obviously not when they're like 2, but like at the certain age when they start to travel and they get to see the world and experience those things, and that in itself is a huge privilege, being able to take kids to travel anywhere.
Absolutely.
But then you can go and put yourself in those shoes. And my wife's family's from Lebanon, so we're going this year for my first time. But when we have kids, I told my in-laws, like, you're welcome to take we'll see where life is at that time, but you're welcome to take the grandkids back to Lebanon for the summer. I don't care. That's like awesome. I want them, because I want them to learn Arabic, Lebanese, but like experience the complete different culture and understand that it's that life perspective of, hey, like their power goes off like twice a day for an hour or something like that. Yeah, you don't have TV, you don't have air conditioning running at that time, and you still survive.
Yeah, plumbing, yeah.
And that was a rude awakening. My first trip I ever did was Thailand. Go to Thailand. But it was 2015, and my wife and I just went back in 2024, and it's much more done up now. It's an amazing country. But in 2015, it was still pretty nice, but their plumbing can't do toilet paper. You can't flush it down the toilet. So like that was just like, wait, what? I got to throw my toilet paper in a garbage pail? Like that was, that's a small little thing that we take for granted.
That's a mind fuck,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
But they also have bidets on every toilet too.
Yeah.
So like it's complete, but like it's just that one little thing is different. You can't like how with like bottles you get 5 cents back. There it's like you don't break glass. Like people like here. I remember in college just throwing bottles everywhere and smashing them. No, like you keep them. They reuse them all the time because they have limited resources. So like it's just little things. So like those lessons, that's impressive.
Yeah, travel's great for all of us, really. I don't love it. I'm like definitely a homebody. And I do love the United States so much, but
well, you're doing your own little traveling within, right?
Yeah,
when you want to Appalachia, that's going to be travel.
Yeah, it's true. It's like it's hard to believe when you're there that that's United States of America.
Yeah. Well, we're basically all of Europe. the size of this country. So,
dude,
there's everything.
There's some like cool fucking haunted like shit on the Appalachian Trail. Like you're in the Appalachian Mountains, right?
Yeah.
So there's some like cool haunted stories that you can look up about the
What
Appalachian.
state was this?
Virginia.
Last year we went to Kentucky, but usually like the organization's called Appalachian Service Project, or ASP. Shout out. They're actually very good stewards of their money. Not a lot of administrative costs. So,
That's good.
Consider donating.
Yeah, one of the few places to actually donate to.
If you do donate money, you should do a lot of research. I'm so frugal. Like, check the math. Right? There's a lot of organizations that are really shitty, and they just pay like CEOs and execs and all that. But it's West Virginia, Kentucky, and something else like that. But it's great. Yeah, so this year I'll take both of them down there. You know, you sleep on air mattresses or cots and just do construction all day.
Sounds fun.
So it's good. It's like a life-changing stuff for them.
Yeah.
It's like that trust fund baby, having to do manual labor to get his trust fund money, put in a little sweat equity, but like experience a whole new world. I was in North and South Carolina. I did an off-road trip with my buddy, and we were in the thick of the fucking redneck country, man. And it was like motorhomes, and like here's a wild thing that I did not know was a thing is these people with motorhomes that like live on stretches of land that just woods. When that motorhome gets shit, they just put a new one out back.
Oh yeah.
And then when that one gets shit, they put a new one. So you drive past, and there's like 4 abandoned motorhomes with a one next to it. They don't take care of their shit. They don't care. It's just like, wait, that's a thing. And then I have to get permits. Like my basement is 2 inches too short, so I can't put a toilet in it.
Yeah.
It's just completely different.
That's fucking incredible.
That's the perspective, right? And we and it's natural. You come from wherever you came from. Like as an American, I have to be very conscious not to view all of the problems of the world like Americans, because it's like I'm not taking their perspective into mine. And same thing, like Hayden's like, Dad, why do they chain their dogs outside? I'm like, babe, it's like it's just a different culture. And again, I think that's the richness of this human experience.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine when I used to travel to Omaha a lot, and they lived on farms. It was in Iowa, and their dogs didn't come inside at all. They were outside dogs all the time. Yeah, they had like spots with the dogs in the wintertime. The dogs didn't come inside though. So like just like I'm showing my picture of my dog laying on my bed with me. He's like, oh fuck that no, off the bed, no, that's disgusting.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh okay.
My dog's eating from my plate, sleeping on my pillow. Yeah. You were talking about Thailand, and this is like sort of around the timeline, I think. So we were supposed to go to Bali, over to Indonesia, Jen and I, and it was like the year that 9/11 happened.
Oh wow.
So it was scary, man. They were like, no Americans, So she would have went. I was a pussy. I was like, oh, maybe we should stay closer, go to Mexico.
Bali didn't want Americans?
There was security threats from America.
Oh, okay.
They were recommending not to go to Bali or Indonesia in general. So we went to Mexico and we went fishing. This is one of my stories. So we go on this fishing boat all day and catch some red snapper, chop them up. They made ceviche. You know what ceviche?
Yeah, I love ceviche.
Take the lime. So you don't actually cook it, but you put all the citrus. Like the citrus will cook the fish, and then
love ceviche.
Oh, it was so delicious. They got cilantro and onions. They chopped up these really hot peppers. I don't know, habanero, whatever they were, threw them in there. So we're eating and drinking and all. It's a great time. And then I went to take a leak, and pepper that I had put in my mouth, I had burned my dick. My dick was on fire. So I was like taking the ceviche, the beer, and sticking it down my pants. I'm like, oh my God, this is... So we got off the boat. I was like, oh my God, that was so like dramatic. And we went out for Mexican and drinking tequila and burritos and walking back to the hotel. And I'm like, I kind of got to go to the bathroom. Like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. So we're like hurrying down the street. Oh my God. Found a bush. Oh my God. Okay. And then it subsides a little bit. You're like, all right, I got this. So we get into the hotel and I'm like, baby, it's going to happen. So I gave her the hotel key, run up, and she ran ahead to open the thing. And I just shit in the plant. Like there was this palm tree in the lobby.
I'm thinking the scene from Dumb and Dumber.
Oh my God. I just like,
Van Wilder, sorry.
Just filled up the planter with shit, like liquid shit. So then Jen's like, where are you? I was like, I don't even have to go. I already went. I'm just like, just need to come in and wipe. And then, the poor maintenance guy is there in the morning, like wheeling out the palm tree.
You just go up and give them a nice big tip.
Exactly.
There you go.
I'm sure in Mexico maybe that happens a lot. I don't know.
Maybe not that specific.
Yeah.
Thing, but no one's surprised.
I know. I wonder what's on camera. I have a lot of my stupid moments caught on camera.
That's definitely in an
Just good
archive
for record
somewhere.
to laugh-
That's
laugh
definitely in an
back at.
archive somewhere. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Holy
that's
shit. Hey,
hilarious.
man, when you got to, like, Jurassic Park, when you got to go, you got to go, right? Fuck. That's awesome. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, that's a lot of updates since the last time. Yeah, good stuff. It sounds like you're really you're enjoying life, you're enjoying being a dad, and you're enjoying being a husband and a son also, now that you have your whole family in there. I love that you're just taking risks, and even if the risks aren't what people think they are, going on a fucking comedian open mic, that's a risk, right? You can absolutely bomb, which I don't think you are, but you can. You are. No, I'm being serious, but you don't give a shit. You're just taking your guitar and going to play. Like, you're doing what, because the point I'm trying to make is you're actually living, whereas other people will look at that and be like, I'm going to look stupid. And then they just too scared to do something that it's not going to kill them.
Yeah.
So you're living life, and I love that. And I love what you're doing with your kids too, making them earn and experience. So
Yeah,
good
they're
stuff, man.
great people. No, appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Fuck
What
yeah.
else? What else you want? You want any fishing updates? I can give you shark. I could give you music stuff.
Hey,
we
you,
good.
you
Timmy's
were-
got some stuff.
You've got a, well, 'cause I know we got to make sure we're on the time.
We're
right?
good.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. Yeah, you do a lot of deep sea fishing.
I
right?
do.
Yeah.
do.
And we talked about you getting like sharks and sharking and all that shit last time, right?
Yep.
You have any trips planned?
Love sharking. No, nothing crazy. This year I had a couple good offshore tuna trips. Do you do any fishing at all?
I'm not a fisherman.
Okay.
You're 30 miles out with that, right? 100 miles out?
Yeah, but tuna probably 100 miles. Yeah. Hudson Canyon.
Hold on,
Yeah.
what's it like being that far out? And I'm assuming the boats you're on aren't tiny, but they're not huge.
Yeah, they're like 40 footers. You know, I have a
Yeah.
couple buddies with those types of boats, and it's amazing. Like if you're struggling with ego and you want to feel right sized, it's a really good place to do that.
100 miles out, you can't see the shoreline, right?
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
You
guys
can see nothing.
You guys are so I don't know how the hell you guys got there, but I told this story on our last show because I only went deep sea fishing once for shark, and we went 30 miles out. We left at 2:30 in the morning from LBI on a 30 foot boat, right? Too many people for everyone to sleep inside in the cabin or to sleep up top where he was driving. So my ass, along with our friend, are sitting on the stairs, holding on for dear life in the pitch black, trying to fall asleep as we get out there. I got 10 minutes of sleep. I get up, and two of the buddies, one of my buddy and one of their friends, are just hanging out on the back of the boat that's going about 30 knots in the middle of the ocean, just fucking sleeping. I'm like, how are you doing that? If you fall, you're fucked. But no, they don't give a shit. They know what they do. Bro, you guys are wild. 100 miles. I am praying that you guys each had a seat inside the boat.
So much fun. Yeah. There's a couple bunks. You could sit with the captain up there.
Thank God.
You could sleep anywhere. I could like literally lay on the deck if you're tired enough. You could always do that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I don't want to fuck. Yeah, dude, that shit's crazy. And to answer your question, he could tell you better. He's right. You fucking get out there 30 miles, dude. You don't know where's land. You don't know. You don't know what's your asshole from your dickhole. You don't know anything.
The stars are so spectacular. And then like, if you're in big ocean, like if there's a big rough sea, that is very scary. Terrifying.
I would hope that you're never on that.
The last 5 years I got into surfing, and like, so I went to Bali. I almost fucking died surfing in Bali. The leash, I got caught inside. First wave paddling out. The first wave ripped the leash off me.
Oh my God.
And it took me 40 minutes to get back to my board. Yeah, the waves aren't crashing when you're 100 miles out. But like, I've seen the ocean rough. I don't want to be around that shit. Fuck that.
Oh, it's terrifying.
So I can't imagine what it's like being out there. And I'm assuming you guys aren't going out when it's super bad, but
Try not to, right?
Yeah.
But you know, like they don't ever get the forecast right. Like even around, we're gonna get 12 inches of snow and nothing happens, or you get 2 feet, and and the weather changes, right? That's that's weather.
You want to see some scary videos? Just type into YouTube either Drake's Passage or the North Sea, and like
Savage.
Yeah, those people are fucking.
And they have like the Viking music playing. Oh, yeah.
And they're going over the crashing, dude. I'll never.
No, I've never been anything in quite that gnarly. Like 10 footers, 12 footers, which is terrifying.
Fuck that. I've seen people surf that. That's
Yeah.
the crazy part.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Getting caught inside on a 10-foot wave. God bless you.
Nah, fuck that, dude.
That's impressive. How'd you get into that?
I've been fishing my entire life. Like childhood, my parents fished. My dad they did a lot of surf fishing, Long Beach Island and Montauk. And so just grew up with it. Mm-hmm. And most of my childhood was saltwater fishing, like the beach and all of that. And then when I met my wife, she lives on a little pond. So that's when I really started freshwater fishing as well, just because it's so damn convenient.
Yeah.
It's like, right in the backyard. But I will fish for anything that swims. Actually, if you're interested in Wharton, I could show you 2 spots very close to you. I have a couple pins of spots in the Rockaway River right by your house.
I do know I see a lot of people fly fishing right on the bridge on Main Street.
Yep.
All the time. I see people going all the time there. I haven't gotten into fishing yet. I got a bow and arrow. I want to get into hunting. I got a bunch of shit on the list.
Yeah, I think you have.
I have like I feed all the animals in the winter. That's like an old man thing too.
Yeah.
Like filling your bird feeders. But I have a pack of deer, a herd of deer, I guess. Like 25 deer come down.
You gotta talk to Phil. Phil's trying to be I think he pet one a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, he got one.
Pretty.
I know he was talking about it last time on here.
I must say, you've got to be a pretty chill Phil in order to get a deer to walk up.
Chill Phil. Yeah, chill Phil.
I like that.
I love that guy.
Yeah, you got to stay calm. That's wild. Yeah, I like you. I need to learn how to hunt, but I also have I don't know, fishing's fun too. When I saw that shark for the first time, that was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's wild. I don't think you'll be able to catch sharks anymore in our lifetime, just based on the regulation.
No.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of overfishing.
But you want to look. I get both sides of it. You have the animal people, stop killing them, but have you ever had a good fucking Mako shark, dude?
So delicious.
So good.
One of my faves.
Come on.
Yeah. I forget what I was going to get up to. But the one thing, so like I was saying, I grew up on the boats, man. That is probably, just that drive out there is just like, it's one of those thinking times.
Yeah.
Like you sit on the back of a boat and you just stare out the back with the wake. And, you're just rocking with the waves, the engine's roaring, and the wind's going. So you can't have conversations with people too much. I mean, in the cab you probably can, but I'm sure that's just, to me, that's one of the most peaceful times.
So spectacular. Or we'll go out, when we go tuna fishing, we'll go out for a couple of days, 2-3 days at a time. And you'll get to watch the sun set on the ocean right to the west, and then you'll get to watch it rise in the east. And there's not a lot of darkness really, because you're right on the horizon there. It's pretty awesome.
Wow. I can't imagine doing that. That's cool, but several days?
Yeah, 2-3 days.
So showers on the boat? Or just a shitter?
There is. I don't think I've ever taken one.
Yeah.
But yeah. No.
Several days with a bunch of guys to get it a little ripe.
The wipes,
the dude wipes.
Yeah.
Dude wipes, yeah.
There's what's that? Defense soap wipes now.
Yeah.
You can bring those from the gym. Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun though.
Maybe we should do a deep sea fishing trip.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
Wait till some good weather.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not something you're accustomed to. You don't want to go out now.
Yeah, no, not fuck.
Although you could. I do fish all year long. Although the older I get, the less interested I have in getting that cold.
Yeah.
Zero.
Well, I think too is there's only so much time in a day.
Yeah.
And there's so many hobbies. It's is this how I want to invest my time? Maybe the little inner bitch is coming out, but still at the same time, I could just be doing jiu-jitsu 6 times a week instead of going out, spending 3 days out, see when it's 4 degrees out. No, I'm good.
Exactly. Right. Sleep in, have a coffee, make the noon class.
Yeah. There you go.
Love that. Do you have anything else, or I think good to cut there?
Finish. Yeah.
Awesome.
We've covered a lot of topics today.
This from the last time. We like to leave you with just wisdom. Words of wisdom.
Parting words.
Words of wisdom. And I guess, I don't know if it's a word of wisdom, but it's something that I'm working on practicing, is just presence. Being in the moment more, whether that's with my friends, at jiu-jitsu, in training, with my work, because it's very distracting. And it's I think in our culture with social media and just there's so much information coming at us, it's so hard to know where your feet are. So I know if and when I could slow down, breathe, and pause, I could be more present. And, I'm always happiest when I'm in that place.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's a good thing to end on too.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, you heard it here. Be more present. Scott Dorey, we got the update. Great talk. I have to reprogram my robot over here, so we're going to cut it here. Episode 215. We'll see you next week. Love you guys.
My ass. Just, getting in there good, making sure it's clean. And my wife comes in.